It's the Stephanie Miller Show.
So I wanna say thank you, 'cause it makes me that much stronger, makes me work a little bit harder, makes me that much wiser. Thanks for making me a fighter.
We've been following this story very closely here at Jimmy Kimmel Live all week, and the outbreak of explosive diarrhea sweeping the nation has now spread to 34 states, including right here in California. They're saying one of the reasons this outbreak has been so hard to contain is that last year, the CDC, under this administration, stopped keeping track of the parasite that causes the explosive diarrhea. But I want to give the president the credit he deserves, and I know how much he loves putting his name on things. So I'm announcing that from now on, this outbreak will officially be known as Trump diarrhea. Right there. Yes.
It's our area of expertise. Fart humor.
Yeah.
Finally is here.
Body function humor.
Gotta look for the silver linings.
Yeah.
Because Chris.
What? Oh God. Oh God. I didn't see it last night, but you told me that something happened.
Something has happened. I believe I can add CNN to the list of networks I will never be invited back on. Boy, you just mentioned that the president's an adjudicated rapist once, and bam, you're the turd in the punch bowl all of a sudden.
You were scheduled for 2 hours. Did you
Yes.
last all 2 hours?
No, let me tell you what happened.
Oh, boy.
Come behind the music with Mama. Behind the CNN music. So, here's the thing, Chris. As you know, I don't want to do TV. I don't give a... I have zero left to give. We get up at
ass o'clock.
We go to bed at
stupid o'clock.
I don't want to. But I love Alex Michelson, who is fantastic.
He's a great guy.
He had me on when he had a local show,
Right.
and I just feel like I owe him. He's
With
always
Ann
been
Coulter.
Yeah. Oh God. He's exposed me to all manner of right wing.
You've been on with Tommy Lauren on his show.
Oh God. And now my new right wing blonde is Jennifer Horn. Who is lovely off air. Can I just say, we mentioned this phenomenon that every time I go in hair and makeup, green room, she
time.
could not be more delightful. Just, oh my God.
Every right-winger.
I'm seeing such cute pictures of you and your girlfriend. Congratulations. I was like, you follow me on Instagram. Thank you. But literally, I love your show.
Every right-winger is like that. Remember Ben Ferguson
Yes, I know.
next to us on Radio Row at the RNC? He was
Okay.
like, I love you. I wish you were my mommy.
Yeah, he had a Mrs. Robinson thing going on. But anyway, okay. I am not made for corporate media in this moment. It's fairly easy to get thrown off Fox News, and only because they're so dumb do they ever invite me back every several
Sean Hannity
years.
has not been known for his intelligence, so that's why he invited you back.
So, first of all, it's late. I'm tired.
Yep.
I'm cranky.
Yep.
I just do not feel like being exposed to the right-wing talking points. Todd Blanche did great. I think we can all admit. I'm like, what? Can we? So it already set me off. So all I said, Chris, all I said...
Oh, boy. You didn't make it all 2 hours.
No, I did not. Let me just... All right, well, I'll explain what happened. You decide. That was the first thing out of the chute in the 9 o'clock hour was the Todd Blanche hearings. And I said, well, and also we've never needed a president that needed a personal attorney before who's a criminal, who's a 34-count convicted felon and an adjudicated rapist. Which everyone freaked out. Oh, no. I'm like, he was a judge. Adjudicate, that's what you need to say.
Adjudicated.
Yes, I said adjudicated, that what he did was akin to rape. He just had to pay a woman nearly $6 million. And I said, and he is very credibly accused of child rape in the Epstein files. I didn't say convicted, I said accused. I said Representative Ted Lieu and others have said as much. That there was, in particularly one girl that was interviewed 4 times by the FBI whose testimony was deemed so credible, it convicted Epstein and what do you call it? And Maxwell.
Yep.
Panic
Sirens
ensues.
went off.
Panics. Yeah, do we have air raid siren? Panic
air raid.
ensues. Not just the right winger, but okay. So there was some comment on social media about this.
Okay.
But this is what happens when you just speak the truth. I mean, it's like, oh, because everybody's so scared of him, or whatever. Poor Alex is like, oh, none of that's really been proven. And like, I get it. He's particularly with whatever's going to happen to CNN and the takeover.
CNN's in a sticky wicket right
Yes, I'm sure. And so my point is, once again, and normally, as you know, I take down the whole network with me when I get the boot.
now. You took down Oxygen.
Yes, I did. Yeah.
What was the other channel?
The female-oriented radio station. What that thing was.
Didn't
the
you
Zone.
like your late night show was on a lot of UPN stations, and UPN didn't last much longer.
No,
after
that was
either.
probably me. That was me.
Okay.
That was me. Who said? Lee said, I never watch CNN anymore, but I caught your segment tonight. I was horrified to see Alex panicking when you said Trump is an adjudicated rapist who has been credibly accused of child rape. I understand he's under orders, but we are losing our fourth estate because people on state TV are too scared of getting fired by the president to tell the truth. Thank you for being a truth teller. I tell you what that gets you, Lee. Never invited back. But am I not going to point that out when Todd Blanche is the one that's covering all this up? Then that was the subject. I'm like, okay. So, all right. So you want the rest? And now here's the rest of the story.
I wonder if Sam got that reference. Paul Harvey?
I know that phrase.
Okay.
Page 2. This is page 2 of the story.
Some old-timey
I do
guy.
want to point out again, I love Alex, and I think he's great. It's not it's not him. I think all of the networks are so chilled, right? And by the
even tonight's speech,
Thank
they're
you.
wrestling.
This is my
Right.
point. This is someone else posted. Trump's 9 p.m. Eastern speech is a transparent bid to bellow 6-year-old election lies into primetime, yet major networks, ABC, CBS, NBC, CNN, MSNBC, and Fox are utterly paralyzed, refusing to say if they'll carry his propaganda live. Cowardice or complicity, giving an unfiltered megaphone to debunk conspiracy theories without instant aggressive fact-checking is journalistic malpractice. Cable news must grow a spine, keep their scheduled show lineups, and simply cut the feed. Yeah.
Brendan Carr, chairman of the FCC, pretty much threatened
I saw
broadcast
that.
networks.
Wheel.
Here.
Take a listen, yeah.
Should the networks air President Trump's speech tomorrow night?
Of course, yeah. I think it's going to be a really important, newsworthy event. Anytime the President of the United States stands up there in prime time to deliver information or news or content, I think broadcasters should want to make sure the American public can see that.
Do you think the networks have a responsibility in terms of their TV licenses?
Broadcasters have a responsibility and an obligation to operate in the public interest.
I'm sorry, I was going to call for Godfathers or Sopranos, whatever. Just whenever we play something mobby, Sam, just take your pick. Is that not nice little
Mobby.
network you got there?
Yeah.
Shame if something would happen to it.
Exactly.
Okay. Oh, thank you, Sam. Oh, he went with Sopranos because he's a little younger.
I mean, I know.
Do you know he once on this air spoke the words, "I never saw The Godfather"? Any of them?
Yeah, that
10
was
years
just last week.
That was 10 years ago. I've seen
Yeah.
it since then.
Well, yeah, because
I'm like, oh, so that's where the horse head in the bed thing comes from. Okay.
every famous scene comes from almost. Okay, so I'll report. You decide what happened. So normally you're just scheduled for one panel in the 9 o'clock hour. That's what I've done before.
Right,
You do the one
right,
panel, 10 minutes,
right.
you're done. You blah blah blah. So
Did they have someone
this
cancel
is
on them? Where they
no.
needed to-
This is
Okay.
new that you're booked for both hours now.
Wow.
So they had said, and they also had said there's going to be a second panel in hour 1 and then a third panel in hour 3. So after the aforementioned turn in the punch bowl, they have you go to the green room to wait because then they're doing other stuff and then they bring you back for the second panel. So panicked producer runs in while we're in the green room. And I mean, I took her at her word. She seemed like really sort of, upset, like we were going to be mad or something. But she said that my 9 o'clock producer didn't time it right and we don't have enough time for the panel. And then we got an interview with the ICE family, the guy who was just killed. We got an interview with a relative in the 10 o'clock And so, you know me, I was like, oh my God, can we go home? Oh, thank you.
Did they keep you there?
No.
Okay,
They said,
good.
she said to both of us, like, we're releasing you because unfortunately we have breaking news. We have, and I was like, oh, yay.
And they're like, oh, we're gonna run a rerun of Andy Cohen and Anderson Cooper on New Year's
They
Eve.
did legitimately get an interview that was breaking news
Okay.
with the family of the latest ice
right.
victor. But I don't know. I have no idea whether it's because they were like, oh my God, if there were lawyers huddled, whatever. But because this is what ABC caved about the George Stephanopoulos thing. But this is why also, I guess, legally you have to say adjudicated.
And you did say
rapist.
adjudicated.
And I said it. But this is what I'm telling you. It's an interesting peek behind the scenes of I have no idea.
I can't imagine what goes on behind the scenes at Abby Phillips. Because that is
What did
that
Scott
is an
Jennings
S
just
show
say?
every single night. I can't imagine.
Yeah, Scott Jennings can go on and
Right.
allegedly lie about
Yeah.
talking to Mitch McConnell, and that's fine. But I say what is legally, factually true, right? Thank you. Jen posted this morning, because I had to get back to
Not
reality.
Jennifer Horn.
No.
Okay.
That'd be funny if it was. She said, good morning from planet Earth. It's July 16th, 2026, and Donald Trump is still a felon and an adjudicated rapist. Thank you, Jen. Anyway, that's it. That's the whole story.
Did you kill another network?
I do not know. I have a feeling I perhaps have fallen down the list of bookings, but
Well, and here's the thing. That's an LA-based show. They don't have a big Rolodex of LA-based pundits that can be on set. It's you and Jennifer
Right.
Horn. That's pretty much it.
so maybe they'll just be like, oh God, okay. This is what happened with Hannity. They get all new producers. They
and they
forget
forget.
about what happened last time.
Right.
Okay. Anyway, all right. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Oh dear. But yeah, no, it was literally like you could feel the panic. Like, oh my God,
sure.
and
Yeah.
And like during the break, they're like, oh, you were making some wild claims. I'm like, wild claims? Those factual, true statements. But it's just this is part, Chris. I'm sorry, but how we got here. Is good. Everybody tiptoes around what the actual horrific truth about Donald Trump is. It's not like other men and the Epstein. I was making a point about him not meeting with Epstein victims, but it's not blah 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 and all these other men. It's the president. He's in these files more than anybody, and I feel like I'm taking crazy pills that he is credibly accused multiple times in there, and we just act like, oh well, right, moving on. And now tonight, are they going to air this God knows what nonsense, right?
Under threat of their broadcast licenses for their local
Right.
stations.
Right.
Brendan Carr said that last night.
It's like we're saying we have to pretend like you can't see the reflecting pool and that there is no, what did he call them? Gashes or, it's just.
300-yard gashes. Now.
But again, where is the mainstream media? That should be endlessly reported. There is no damage that the president claims at all, except tire tracks from his motorcade, period. It's so tonight I'm like, seriously, I'm sure they're going to have the same both sides panels after the speech. What do we think? Both sides of what the president said. I'm like, there's no both sides to the. This is what's so humiliating. And none of these people yesterday could say Joe Biden won in 2020.
Yeah, that was.
They all have to go through this
insane.
humiliation ritual of dancing. Where was this guy? Do we have one real quick, and then we'll break? Who's what's his name? Clayton.
8. John Ossoff and
Yeah, John
Jake
Ossoff was
Layton.
amazing. Yeah.
Who won the 2020 election?
I'm not going to do this with you.
This is a job interview. We've established that you have an obligation
a
to
pretty
be
interesting
honest
job.
and forthright with the committee. Yes, you do have an obligation to be honest and forthright with the committee.
Yes.
Who won the 2020 election?
Like I said, I'm not going to get into that with you.
But you do have an obligation to be honest and forthright with the committee.
Is anything that I just said not honest or forthright?
Yes, you're not being honest or forthright. Who won the 2020
I think I've answered
election?
the question. We can keep doing this.
Well, we're going to keep doing it because you're not being honest and
No,
forthright
I'm
with
not
the
going to
committee.
engage in the theater.
Oh my God. This is where
They're terrified of upsetting Daddy MAGA.
Yeah, and this is just one last one. George Conway on Trump's election lies tonight. This is exhibit number 55,299 of Trump's fundamental mental unfitness and moral unfitness to be president. If he doesn't believe this, and he's just saying this to be manipulative, that's psychopathic. If he actually believes any of this, he's psychotic. He may well be both. And they'll just air it again as if this is normal. All right, we have a big show. Oh, we have an extra big show. Malcolm Nance added to the regular Thursday amazing lineup.
So we got lots of man.
Carl Frisch, who's it's Dr. Doom and Dana Goldberg.
Oh yeah.
21 minutes after the hour. Senate Democrats blocked the annual defense policy bill yesterday, registering their discontent with Trump's handling of the war in Iran. Just days after administration formally notified Congress that U.S. military operations had resumed, they said Democrats argue Congress should not move ahead with it would authorize more than $1 trillion in military spending while the administration was pressing forward with a war that has been rebuked by bipartisan majorities in both chambers. That's why elections matter, because again, we were able, even without the majority, to do that at least, to say stop this ridiculous debacle in Iran.
Yeah, and we forget that the moratorium on the War Powers Act long since expired, and it was right around that time when it expired that Donald shifted to the MOU as the main thing.
Yeah.
But now that MOU is dead, the War Powers Act, as far as I'm concerned, should still be in effect here, and so therefore he needs to be sanctioned in some way by Congress, but of course we can't expect that with these Republicans who are just, there to hump his leg relentlessly. So, especially Mike Johnson, who's the biggest humper of them all. Even though he's
I thought you were going with Lindsey Graham, a postmortem Lindsey Graham joke, but
well,
okay.
There was that too. Lindsey Graham is being dressed down by John McCain right about now.
Yeah, you
for all
said
the leg humping.
I said you said John McCain's giving Lindsey the what for right now.
Yeah, wherever they are. I mean, I don't know. I'm not an existential kind of person necessarily, but wherever they are, John McCain is like, just standing over Lindsey Graham saying, what happened there? I mean, John McCain was no saint, make no mistake.
Yeah.
But Lindsey Graham switched on a dime. As soon as John McCain died, Lindsey Graham couldn't get up to the other end of Pennsylvania Avenue fast enough to hump Donald Trump's legs.
Yeah, it's pathetic. I swear to God, I feel like there's always someone worse. Like, you know what I mean? Here's Todd Blanche today. Yeah. Whenever they get rid of someone awful, you're like, oh, who's like? Obviously, Mark Wayne, Ricky Bobby Mullen is no better than Ice Barbie.
Yeah.
Ice has not made any reforms. It is getting worse. This one, Trump is backing. What's his name now? Who's this awfulness? Fry? Is it Representative Russell Fry for Lindsey's seat? He had backed him in his first bid for Congress. Oh, because he was running against a guy that voted for Trump's impeachment, of course. So that was part of his vindictive blah blah blah. This guy, let's see, he's known for his failed No More Political Prosecutions Act, which would have barred hearing charges against Trump in any state court and moved any such prosecutions to federal court. He's spoken at multiple Trump rallies. He was among 26 Republican representatives who refused to back a 2-sentence condemnation of white supremacy. Of course, that's Trump's guy, right?
Yeah, right. I was thinking it was going to be one of the various wives from Fox and Friends, whoever the designated blonde woman is who sits in the middle on Fox and
the
Friends.
designated blonde.
Yeah, exactly. I was thinking, central casting. I was going to get. I'm sure we were going to hear that from Donald Trump. Central.
Yeah.
Oh, we got to get someone in there from central casting. But I'm sure this person has thoroughly, as Aaron Rupar says, glazed Donald Trump on many occasions. Yeah. And so that's why he's being upped.
Bob, so one of the things, it's just so emblematic of everything is where you are in D.C., this reflecting pool thing that here we are, where it's drained. You can see it. There is no vandalism or box cutter mark, whatever. What you can see is the tire tracks, which is what everybody said, from his stupid presidential motorcade.
Right. And once again, we're left to wonder whether or not Donald Trump doesn't understand the difference between feet and yards.
Right.
Or whether Donald Trump is just randomly making up numbers as he goes, which I think it tends to lean more toward the latter than the former.
Yeah.
But that's what he said on Truth Central the other day. He was like, "Oh yeah, suddenly 900 yards. It's
they
nine
pulled
what is
it up viciously and violently. They pulled it up. I'm like, really? Underwater,
Oh, yeah.
350 yard?
Oh right, yeah, I know what he said. He said a 300-yard dash.
Yes.
But it used to be a 300-foot.
Right.
dash.
Right.
And so it tripled in length.
That's how it's
somehow.
Yeah, you can
suddenly
see what
grown.
happened there.
Like, if you've ever been to the reflecting pool, it's not an isolated location on the National Mall. There are lots of people around.
And
So
cameras.
what we're to understand is, like, for example, this ex-Olympian
Yes.
up to his knees in the reflecting pool with a box cutter making it. No, that never happened. None of this ever happened. Donald Trump has fabricated all of this, like he says about the 2020 election, like he says about so many other things.
Stephanie Miller.
Yeah. It is the Stephanie Miller Show. Welcome to it. Now that I'm on a tear about corporate media,
All right.
this made me mad. We love us some Harry Enton, CNN chief data analyst. So he informed Trump that his approval on inflation has put him in a rather unpopular brotherhood with Joe Biden and Jimmy Carter. Part of how, to me, Biden's whole, like, what his rating, approval ratings are on that is because of how the media covered it. The fact is, we had the fastest recovery from COVID. Part of how we got there was because of Trump's disastrous handling of COVID. And Joe Biden still handed a 2.9% inflation number to Donald Trump, who it has shot up now. Stop reporting like, oh, Biden was so bad on inflation. We had literally the best economic recovery in the world.
That's not what Enton reported. Enton reported on the approval rating. That is it.
No. I'm not blaming him, Chris. What I'm saying is the numbers. It just becomes like, oh, Biden was just like Carter on inflation, and that's not the story.
That's not Enton's fault.
He said he declared Trump is facing the kind of numbers that wreck presidencies. Yeah, he's earned that all on his own. Biden rescued the economy from him, and it just we know you don't have to. We know things are way worse now, price wise, and we just anyway. But Trump's net approval on inflation is at minus 47 points. He earned that. He did that as they put the stickers on. He did that. Yeah. All on his own. I just, because that was the other topic we didn't get to last night is Joe Biden's new book.
Why?
Joe Biden's new book. But I thought their whole storyline, you can tell, is supposed to be about, oh, is that good for Democrats? No, they really want Joe Biden's book to come out, so that we can do another round of Biden bashing. And I'm sorry we didn't get to that segment because I would have stood up for Joe Biden and his right to write a memoir like every other president in the world. Tired, cranky, wham. Okay, 29 minutes after the hour.
I would tell him to go his self. That's what I would tell him. And please leave. This man has tried to torture me for 10 years. He says the that he says about my dad, his obsession with tormenting my dad, hanging a picture of an auto pen on the colonnade, demeaning him, and all the things that he said about him. Well, what kind of man would I be if I didn't tell him to go himself?
Oh, God. I could do the backstroke in Hunter Biden. I'm so glad people are resonating with this. Vinny said it's incredibly refreshing to hear Hunter Biden speak. He cuts right through the nonsense and tells it exactly like it is. No sugarcoating, no games, just the raw truth. I'm telling you, this is what happened. This is what people are tired of corporate media. What happened last night with me with CNN. This is why people are resonating with the Jennifer Welches and the Kyle Kalinskis and the Hunter Bidens and it's just being able to speak. And all of our friends, Brian Tyler Cohen, Mike Nellis, people that are speaking truth to power and saying it honestly, and it's just there's so much tiptoeing around is how we got here. I need this guy. I need him.
Carl.
Okay. Carl Frisch. Let's talk to our fancy Fairfax County School Board friend, shall we? CarlFrisch.com. Hiya, Carl Frisch. Hi.
Good morning. You know, it's not tiptoeing if you're always on point.
That's right.
I know people live for some ballet humor.
I'm going to adjust my dance belt. Yeah, I was saying that, these were the two topics that we didn't even get to on CNN last night were, Joe Biden's book. Oh, gasp, Clutch the Pearls. Is this bad for Democrats? Really? Every president in the world has put out a book. So his book will be released 2 weeks after the midterm so everyone can stop clutching the pearls. But good for Hunter Biden. And I'm sorry I didn't get a chance to say Joe Biden has every. And by the way, the best news is that he says his cancer treatment has been going really well. I mean, he's going to outlive all these right? It said he needed to get out of office and he was about to drop dead, right?
Well, it's crazy because is Biden's book bad for Democrats, but they never ask, is the lack of reading bad for Republicans?
Right.
Yeah. By the way, can you give me, Jennifer, just because I brought her up, this was the topic because they look for Democrats in disarray topics. So it's like, funding for Israel. Oh, Democrats, and so here's Jen on that real quick.
Sending this aid to Israel is not popular because, particularly in the Democratic base, we're not a cult. We see the evidence. We see that Israel kills journalists. We see that Israel kills little kids. We see that Israel commits war crimes every single day. And call us crazy, we don't want our taxpayers funding war crimes.
And by the way, the polling bears that out. It's the thing we say, Chris says every day here, it is not anti-Semitic to say, we hate Netanyahu and his policies. A lot of Jewish people here and in Israel feel the same way.
Well, a lot of people see Netanyahu the same way that many Americans see Trump.
Yes.
So, I think this is going to be one of the defining issues that we see in primaries across the country for what's left of the primaries across the country. But I also think that it's hurtful for Republicans for the same reasons, particularly among young voters. And by young voters, I mean like anybody under 30. So, and that's an area that they're struggling, right? They thought coming out of the last election that they had young men all wrapped up. But young men voted for Republicans on the idea that they were going to follow through on their promises to make life more affordable and to give people more opportunities. None of that has happened.
Yeah.
They've not even tried to make that happen. And people can see right through it.
Yeah. And meanwhile, they're just... It's unbelievable. We're in this debacle of a war that is costing us $1 jillion that nobody wants. And... by the way, and someone posted, I can't think of anything gayer than requiring troops to get tested to make sure their testosterone levels are testosterone-y enough for Pete's liking. I mean, really? This is what
level of, and I'm not saying I can do a pull-up, but
yes.
At what level does one's testosterone need to be to do a pull-up without looking like that? Representative Jayapal said the Secretary of Forever Wars, Pete Hegseth, just announced they're going to provide hormone therapy to male service members who don't have enough testosterone. Let's be clear, this is gender-affirming care, and it completely debunks all Republicans' attacks on trans people. Yep. Thank you, Representative. And someone else reposted and said Republicans do not oppose gender-affirming care; they oppose trans people receiving it. Put testosterone in a cis man, and it becomes military readiness. Give it to a trans person, and suddenly the Republican needs life support. I mean, not to mention, these are the issues they're focused on, right? Right. Well, it's never the issues that actually matter, right? The issue in Iran is not a lack of testosterone. The issue in Iran is a president who brought us into this challenge, this skirmish, this war, without any idea of what was going to happen when we got there and how we would get out of it.
Well,
and so
everyone but Netanyahu, could I point out, told him what would happen, including his own generals.
But, it doesn't matter because Trump is always right and he's always smarter than everybody else in the room. And this, my friends, is the danger of electing somebody who thinks that.
Carl, did you know the dumb has a B in it? Okay. Nobody knows that.
And by the way, I do want to say my heart goes out to Lindsey Graham's family. I heard that he just exploded, apparently, is what the president said.
Yeah.
He had a kablooey heart syndrome. Okay. I like this roundup of where we are. A diarrhea plague, a killer heat wave, covered lettuce, massive flooding, all while fighting a war in the Middle East. The Emperor's army is killing people in the streets, and everyone outside the palace is facing an affordability famine. Welcome to Trump's America. I mean, this is why I was saying I have a hard time doing the left-right panels anymore because you're not. I think that's how I started. I'm like, oh, it's so nice to be next to this right-wing bubble where really you're going to pretend everything is going great.
They will. Yes, they will.
Yes.
I mean, that's
Number one,
the
yes.
starting point. No matter
no matter what happens, they will. And I think that's what separates, right? And, I've never been more calm to have RFK Jr. in charge of HHS and the FDA and the CDC than to know that my salad could cause exploding diarrhea.
I just invited a friend out for lunch, and I said, let's get exploding ass lettuce, courtesy of Trump CDC. Wanna?
They were really great when they opened for Nirvana, by the way.
So here we go tonight, Carl, with this whole, again, a lot of people, AOC, are saying what I've been saying. They should not be airing this, but you've got Brendan Carr threatening networks if they don't air what you know is going to be wall-to-wall lies and nonsense and conspiracy theories. And by the way, I'm glad, because I was mentioning COVID. Amy said, I'll say it again, Biden won the 2020 election. He won because people hated how Trump dealt with COVID. And because of COVID, mail-in ballots were widely used. I remember getting mine in the mail, and I sat down that very day, filled it out, signed my name, took it to the local election office. Lines of cars of people all up and down the road in town were doing the same. It took longer to count all those mail-in ballots, but they were still legitimate votes from legitimate people. Biden won. I mean, that we're relitigating this 6-year-old roundly debunked thing. It is the new normal, right?
It is. Look, this is part of the pretext for what comes next for them, is rehashing this over and over again so that they can tear apart our elections in the future and in the present.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Carl, there's some pretty dire speculation starting from Norm Eisen to, on down about what he's going to say tonight. In terms of declaring national emergency, saying that Maduro, confessed that. I don't even get that one, Chris. Was it he's going to say Chavez intervene? I can't even keep track anymore of his conspiracy theories.
That's one of the things they suspect he's going to say tonight. Yeah.
That Maduro confessed that. Okay. Carl, anyway, I don't, but will he declare national emergency? Will he say federal takeover of elections? And I know we keep saying, oh, we can't do that, and here we are.
Well, I encourage people to go out to Michael's and buy up all the yarn they can for their murder board as they try to keep track of the president's logic tonight or during these remarks, because it's not going to make any sense. But it's going to be catnip for the base, and that's what this is all designed for, is to gin up the base, to provide a pretext for trampling on the voting rights of the American people. And they've been laying the groundwork for this the entirety of his administration.
Yeah. So a lot of people talking about Amy Coney Barrett saying she had to explain to her kid why she has a bulletproof vest. And, people are all over this, of course, online. One said, I had to explain to my 12-year-old why I needed a bulletproof jacket. Yeah, well, I had to explain to my 6-year-old why she couldn't get light-up sneakers for school. You there on the school board know what this is like for every parent and child. And Republicans, it seems to me, are always poor me. It's only when it happens to them. And this is, by the way, the world she's helped create in terms of guns and everything else.
Yes, and the climate that Trump has created for the people that he put on that bench.
Yeah, it's right-wingers that are...
Whenever they step out of line for him. So I'm not sure how the conversation went that, mommy was put on this job by a man who's making her life... more difficult.
Yeah.
Look, we have an administration who does not take the threat of gun violence seriously, particularly when it comes to schools, and are actively trying to strip Virginians of their right to have a assault weapons ban, for example. So hopefully courts do the right thing. But with this court, it's always a crapshoot.
Yeah. I thought we were back to exploding ass lettuce. I'm sorry, a different crapshoot. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I got to say, that always breaks my heart. As you know, I don't have kids, but a lot of parents have told these stories, why they've had, because those are the thing, right? For little kids is the little light-up sneakers that they love, and they literally have to say no because the gunman will see you. I mean, this is the America that we live in now. Someone else posted the hypocrisy of Justice Amy Coney Barrett pleading for security funding for her family while voting against gun control. Every child should be protected, not just hers. I mean, seems to me that's the point of our whole party, right? Is that we want everyone. We want to help everyone.
Issue after issue after issue, it's not it's not necessarily self-interest. It's self-interest and interest in helping everybody, whether it's public education, whether it's public safety, whether it's having a functioning post office or having health care for everyone. I mean, on issue after issue. And the other side, it's what's mine is mine.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And here's the thing you and I've talked about for years. Sharon says 90 million Americans declined to vote in 2024, handing the squeaker to Trump. Wonder how those folks are doing today. I mean, that's the biggest tragedy, isn't it, in our democracy, is the number of people that just don't vote, don't do politics, don't pay attention, don't whatever. I mean, am I crazy? I just saw Dame Tallarico on TV today. I saw Senator Ossoff yesterday. We have such amazing, in my mind, we have such amazing people on our side that are articulating all the important issues.
And the great news is that they're going to be elevated to higher office in the next election,
right?
Just months from now. And so I think, the worst nightmare for many on the right is having people like Tallarico in office who can articulate a vision that cuts through the baloney and wakes people up to the reality that they're living in and that Republicans have put them in.
Yeah.
Because if they wake up to that, maybe they don't vote for Republicans anymore.
Yeah, let's hope so. All right. And Mooks for Carl is where democracy begins.
MooksForCarl.com.
Yeah. Exactly. Oh, I'm sorry.
Right.
Forgot
and you can join me at Sexy Liberal in October.
That's right.
October 24th in Los Angeles, along with Mark Hamill and Glenn Kirshner
and to be named.
I can't say yet. Okay.
I think that's Beaker from the Muppets.
That is, and Beaker from the Muppets will be there.
All right, love you, Carl Ferrer. See you next week.
Thanks, Carl.
There he goes. 47 minutes after the hour.
You were associated with Taco Bell at some point.
Yes,
TMZ called me yesterday during the World Cup game. And
I saw that TMZ report with you.
They called me at home.
You warned people to drop the chalupa, and they didn't listen.
I dropped the chalupa. I said if the dog were still alive, he would say, proceed with caution. Because I ate there the other night, I'm fine.
Yeah, well, because
But
we have regulations in California.
Yeah,
God.
we do.
Yes. Okay. And, food inspection, stuff like that. Yeah, I love that they're blaming Taco Bell for the fact that we've got a complete lunatic in charge of Health and Human Services and disbanded all of the regulatory mechanisms for tracking something like this.
Everything this administration has done has been 180 degrees from what is actually right, the right thing to do.
Yeah.
Ascribe and believe in science, helping minorities, acting like this dude Jesus Christ that we've heard about, being kind to people, trying to get some great comprehensive border legislation, not doing a circus with people pulling people over and shooting them. And I tweeted this morning, poor Amy Coney Barrett has to wear a vest.
Yeah.
Why don't you try going to a court hearing for asylum and then get dragged away and then get back to us?
Yeah, exactly.
It's so gross right now.
Or get shot through the windshield when you're trying to get to work. Okay. Oh, by the way, I just was in the middle of a Heroes of Democracy. Pardon me. We need...
Defending our nation from the clutches of fascist idiocracy, we proudly present Heroes of Democracy.
Whoever put up the 10-foot-tall Iran War participation trophy on the National Mall to honor Trump, they wrote, as a recipient of this prestigious award, President Trump joins the ranks of children everywhere who receive recognition for simply showing up. Remember, that's what they always troll us for, is liberals, everybody gets a participation. This monument also serves as the Donald Trump Trophy Donation Center, where the public is encouraged to drop off their own prizes for the president. Together, we hope that if enough trophies are donated, he will be perceived as a winner and not feel the need to bomb other countries. Thank you.
Oh, God.
Hero of democracy, whoever.
Oh, man.
It gets more ridiculous by the day. He tacoed in record time this time on saying he's going to charge tolls for the Strait of Hormuz. We are just an international laughing stock every second of every day. Like, why would they take him seriously?
Marco Rubio's trying to make a balloon animal for him. Oh, here, Donald, hold on. It's you holding the FIFA trophy. You won, Donald.
Yeah, exactly. Everyone knows if you just give him some fake trophy or flatter him, you can get whatever you want. And now he's in the, I'm not talking to you, Ren. He's in that mode now.
I told you he's crazier than Kim Jong-un. He's crazy.
Yeah.
He's absolutely, certifiably a madman.
Yeah.
And I told Chris, we talked off air, January 6th
Don't talk to Chris
off.
off air.
January 6th was the bellwether. We're like, how did we get here? Is this the end? And the end was January 6th. As soon as Republicans saw that and said, no, we're not going to impeach and convict him, it was over. It's over.
Carlos, we saw it on video in front of our very eyes on TV. And now you can look at the drained reflecting pool, see there are no slashes of any kind.
Tire tracks.
Right. And it becomes, what is it now? Oh, it's a 300-yard gash that he said was 350 feet last week. And you can clearly see tire marks from his stupid motorcade. So
You
not
see
only
Fred
did no one else do it, he did it.
I see it. I see Fred Flintstone and Barney's feet all over the reflecting pool bottom. Hey, Fred, let's tear this up. It's caveman feet.
Do we have the running? We do have the Flintstone.
Hey,
Running.
Fred, let's go to the reflected pool. Well, it's empty. Barney! Get it, Chris. I can't sustain this for too long.
There you go. Okay.
That
Sam
was
is
it.
still training. There
Fred
we go.
and Barney with a big slab of prime roast beef
Yeah, that's what happened.
ribs on the side of the car.
Yeah, the ribs made the car fall
ribs
over.
fell
That's
off
that's
and
where the
made the
damage.
gash.
That's
It
what-
was Fred Flintstone. There was a big rack of ribs. They fell off. Hey, Fred, we've dropped the ribs. Let's get out of here, Barney.
That's what happened. Fred Flintstone ripped off a rib and slashed the
He did.
bottom of the thing. Okay, all right. So tomorrow night we're going to hear this pile of horse about election fraud, rigged something important, big announcement, very big. He's apparently going to say Georgia's 2 Democratic senators are illegitimate. We don't. I mean, it goes from the ridiculous to the oh my God, is he going to declare a national emergency? In Chicago has been waiting so patiently. Hello, Boo Boo Boo.
Oh, hello. Good morning, Smoothie Bear.
Good morning, Shmoo.
I was listening to Brendan Carr being asked about should this be televised, and him talking about how anytime the president has something to say, it should be, it's in the public's best interest. To your credit and to your points last night on CNN. He is a 34-count felon, an adjudicated rapist, a credibly accused child rapist. He is an insurrectionist. He is on and on and on, all of the above. And every time he gets out in front of the camera, he lies like he breathes.
Yeah.
So it is not in the public's best interest. And that has to be said every time.
Yeah.
And, Harry Enton, I understand he was just saying these were the polling numbers or whatever, but
Right.
you are so right. It is because of the mainstream media's inability to talk about this honestly. I remember when The Economist said not only was it a soft landing, it was a miracle. And I also remember when they asked the question, the economy is so great, but why aren't people feeling it? It was a post-pandemic economy with the inflation reflective of that.
Yeah.
But they don't say that, so then people, of course,
Yeah.
hold
Well,
the
that
way
was
they
my
do.
point. I'm not faulting Harry Enton for reporting the numbers
Oh,
on
no,
inflation.
I know.
But I'm saying the mainstream media is part of why Biden's numbers were that, and we are
You're
where
right.
we are today. It was provably much better then, and it's provably much worse now. And it just, I mean, for instance, like the reflecting poll. I know it's one thing, Karen, but the mainstream media needs to not just say Trump says. They need to say Trump is clearly lying about this objective thing you can see with your eyes. You know, this thing that he says, it
absolutely.
didn't
It's
happen. Right.
Complete delusionment, and that's what you need. You need delusion. And all of these people that can't even answer the question as to whether the 2020 election was free and fair and wasn't stolen, it is mind-boggling, and I'm so tired of it. We're all so tired of it. Anyway, love you guys.
I love
Have a good
you.
day.
I love that it's considered shocking now, saying the truth on network news. God bless Senator Warnock yesterday. Senator Raphael Warnock.
Donald Trump lost Georgia in 2020. That's not my opinion. It's a fact.
Thank
the votes
you.
were counted, recounted, audited, and litigated. He lost, he lost, he lost. He is trying to sow doubt on the integrity of our elections in Georgia so that he can create the pretext to interfere in 2026. This president is a liar, a cheater, and a fraud.
Thank you.
And he has shown us over and over again that staying in power matters more to him than anything else.
Yeah. As I always say, he is so ridiculous. He's made his whole party ridiculous. This is Senator Cynthia Loomis of Wyoming.
In your mind, are Senators Ossoff and Warnock duly chosen and sworn?
I don't know.
Oh.
Wow.
All right. Can I just some other cult news on
Okay.
social media?
All right.
Alex posts breaking: a group of 6 MAGA fans in Louisiana have just launched a hunger strike they vow will go on until E. Jean Carroll gives back the $5.8 million Donald Trump was forced to give her. Oh, come on. Go get some Taco Bell or something, won't you? We care about you. Dr. Doom, next.
It's the Stephanie Miller Show.
Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer gave a speech about the war in Iran yesterday, and I want us all to listen closely here because it sounds like legislation is not the only thing Chuck might be passing.
We need a complete investigation that's independent. Now on Iran and the NDAA.
Yo, DJ, can we run that back?
Now on Iran and the NDAA.
This is very sad. This means we have the first known case of someone suffering from both Trump derangement syndrome and Trump diarrhea. He has both. He has both.
Oh boy, everyone's trafficking in our fart humor now.
Well, I mean, when Senator Schumer rips a fart on the floor of the Senate, you got to comment on it.
Because we're all eating exploding ass lettuce. Hey, let's ask a fancy doctor about that.
If I'm going to get bad news, I want it from him because he's very handsome. Dr. Irwin Redletter joins us now. MSNBC medical expert. Dr. Irwin Redletter.
Here he became Dr. Doom.
Dr. Irwin Redletter is the founding director of the National Center for Disaster Preparedness and senior research scholar.
Dr. Doom.
Good morning, Dr. Doom. Hello. Once again, we continue our tradition of asking the smartest people in the world the dumbest questions ever. Exploding ass lettuce. Go. I mean, I don't know what to... Go ahead.
Let's say hypothetically you had a country that actually cared about public health. And among the other functions, you regularly screen to make sure that people weren't buying and consuming contaminated vegetables and fruit, like lettuce. Mm-hmm. And let's say that in this hypothetical country, we had a hypothetical lunatic who was running our public health programs, and he decided to cut back on surveillance, on checking and tracking whether we had disease-ridden salads. And apparently that hypothetical country turned out to be real. It turned out to be us, and it turned out to be another notch in the gun barrel of a guy who's out to destroy public health in America and at the same time undermine America's health.
Yeah.
Through a series of incredibly stupid anti-science policies. And that's what we have right now.
And we're
in the cyclospora outbreak affecting your lunchtime salad.
Yeah. And the public is reduced to playing Russian roulette. We don't know. We're not getting any guidance on what should we eat, what should we not, what should we avoid, what are you doing about the problem, right?
You have to have a commitment to trying to deal with it. If you don't have that, Stephanie, you have outcomes like we're experiencing right now. Listen, the problem with this particular issue is that sometimes you don't start getting symptoms for 2 weeks after you've consumed it. So try to figure out which salad you ate.
Yeah, and I eat salad every day, so you said Bobby Kennedy continues his Make America Sick Again rampage. He spreads wild misinformation about public health, undermines vaccine confidence, devastates medical research, dangerously cuts programs that track disease outbreaks like cyclospora, and he's created chaos at the HHS. He must step down. I mean... it's almost pretty much every cabinet member, but you're right. He is the clear and present danger to, America's health, and it is literally a life and death situation.
It is a life and death situation, and I didn't even add in there the fact that they are, they dismantled USAID, responsible therefore for lots and lots of actual deaths, people dying all over the developing world and especially in Africa, and the measles outbreak and the loss of research lines that are critical to solving problems like heart disease and cancer in America. It's almost like there's an intentionality to undermining what used to be one of the most extraordinary public health systems in the world is now kind of a laughingstock thanks to this particular guy Bobby Kennedy Jr. and his boss, and that's where we are.
And, you know, Doc, I've said I'm a big Grey's Anatomy fan, and I, you know, just caught up on the latest season, and they do an amazing job of, because it's just like issues we talk about, like, oh, they cut funding for this. They highlight, like, real people that really die because of them cutting clinical trials and research funding, and, you know, so it's not just an abstraction, you know, it really is.
It's not.
Yeah,
right. And by the way, The Pit, that other incredible series, also dealt directly with social issues in medicine. You know, ICE agents in the emergency room trying to arrest people getting medical care, people unable to afford their diabetes medicine.
Yeah.
And I think what's happened is the insanity of all this has seeped into the popular culture, and people, and by the way, people are getting a bird's eye view of what's happening in America. And I wanted to make this point. We were in Ukraine, you know, a couple of weeks ago. And one of the people that work with us, a Ukrainian woman, said she was watching The Pit in Ukrainian and said, is it really true that people can't get medication because they can't afford it?
Yeah.
And, you know, I'm sitting there in a country at war, just watching this person in amazement that our healthcare system in the United States is so primitive and so messed up.
Speaking of war, you said Senate on the verge of passing a bill that would impose severe economic pain on Russia and on any country that does business with Russia while it's committing daily war crimes in Ukraine, our democratic ally who needs our help. Can I just say I'm not a fan of Lindsey Graham, but if they pass this, as some are saying, in honor of Lindsey Graham, good. Because that was the one issue he was right on, was Ukraine. And he was, you know, pushing to get this done. So I hope, you know, I really hope that for whatever reasons. That
me too. And, you know, ironically, he had just come back from a trip.
Yeah, that's why there's conspiracy theories.
He came back, and this was the last thing on his mind legislatively.
Yeah.
And then he died of this horrendous, unavoidable aortic aneurysm dissection. And look, this is, I have so many disagreements. I had so many disagreements with Lindsey Graham. It's incredible, including his reaction to January 6th and all of that stuff. But like you say, Steph, you know, the guy was a champion for the United States.
It literally was the one thing, in my opinion, he was right about. And so, anyway. By the way, can we talk about Mitch McConnell for a minute? Mitchell said, you know, it's hard to, you know when it's hard to prove you're alive? When you're dead. Obviously, you don't know any better than the rest of us.
Yeah, no, you didn't say that.
No. I did not say that.
I mean, people on both sides of the aisle are calling BS on this. Really, you know, several weeks later, you release a still picture that appears to be an old picture and a statement, rather than talking to the governor of your state or putting out a video statement. Or, I mean, it's just weird, isn't it?
It's weird, but it's also really inappropriate. It's just inappropriate that we have a government right now that is able to hide disability. I mean, look what we're doing with the President of the United States himself in terms of glossing over obvious disabilities mentally that any human being watching him in action, including, by the way, I don't know what we're going to see tonight, but expect a real doo-doo show here.
Well, exactly. I was just going to say, you know, it's just now, when I'm talking to you, it occurs to me, the fact that we don't believe anything anybody in our government says is really going to impact public health. You know, because we saw what we dealt with during COVID, and now you saw this, the Pentagon announced it's going to convene a panel to study the decisions, coordination, planning, and execution of the military's COVID vaccine mandate. So now we're not only going back over the 2020 election, we're going back over whether it was a good idea to have the troops be vaccinated against the worldwide pandemic that killed millions.
Yeah, a month ago, maybe 6 weeks ago, Hegseth said you don't have to get flu vaccines anymore. This is what he said to the troops, and we had an outbreak among cadets in training that was very dangerous and really undermining troop strength and capabilities. And this is stupidity that's seeping into every corner of the American government, and this is why we need a clean house stuff. It's really, you know, we need new leadership.
Everybody, the Undersecretary of Defense is named, what's his name? Anthony Tata. So he's the one doing this internal panel on the COVID vaccine, he once called Obama a treasonous Muslim terrorist leader. He's married to his fourth wife. Filed a 17-page lawsuit against a Miami astrologist with whom he was having an affair.
God.
Is our COVID vaccine going to be based on like what your sign is now? I'm like, okay. So
yeah, we've sunk low, man. This is we're down there in the dregs, and hopefully we're not going to just totally destroy our democracy if this continues. But we just need new leadership, and I think people realize that, and I think and I'm hoping that we'll see in November a clean sweep. That we'll see some people come around who actually have intelligence and care and insight about what kind of policies we need, and it's an emergency, basically.
Yeah, we'll see what nonsense we hear tonight. That it's going to.
I can only. Are you going to watch it?
No, God, no. But you commented just after that post-NATO press conference about the cover-up about the president's mental and physical health. You said he's obsessed with how other leaders love him. He called Zelensky Putin, claimed he's #1 on TikTok, called it the Islamic Republic of Japan, attacked a U.S. aircraft carrier, and blabbed on about his incoherent Iran policy. And you just said Trump is deeply unfit. That's apparent. But if the Republican congressional candidates for the midterms, they'll have a lot to answer for this November. And another point you made, you said, I just heard James Tallarico make this morning, Doc. You said, I'd love to see a campaign demanding every candidate hold regular town halls. Avoiding tough questions from constituents should not be an option. James Tallarico was talking, Ken Paxton hasn't had one in a zillion years. Susan Collins hasn't, that was one of Graham Plattner's most, effective lines, is he said, she hasn't had a town hall since I was in 8th grade.
Well,
you're right, that should not happen in a democracy.
You can't blame Republicans from not wanting to have a town hall meeting, because at the town hall meeting, they have to answer for supporting Donald Trump and his wackadoodle policies there. So, the town hall is supposed to be a forum where you get up there and you talk about your positions and defending them. But when you get shouted down by people who are much smarter and much more responsible than you are, even though you hold the office, that's not a position you want to be in. So who's surprised that they don't want to do town halls, but they must do them? This is part of our democracy, and I'm hoping they will not be allowed to get away by refusing to hold meetings with their constituents.
Yep. Doc, good stuff as always. Good luck with the whole salad roulette. All right. See you next week.
Bye, guys.
Bye. Okay, 18 minutes after the hour.
I was hoping that Adam Schiff would throw in, but you are in that chair, Blanche. You are in that chair.
Please, for me, somebody do that at the hearing today. The New York City Bar has also sent a letter opposing Todd Blanche's AG guy. It's just part of this stupid timeline we're in, right? That he would even be. They released a letter to the Senate Judiciary opposing the nomination of Todd Blanche for his misplaced loyalty to Trump. Last week, more than 1,200 former DOJ employees signed a letter urging the Senate not to confirm him. And here we are, right? The president's personal thug lawyer.
Yeah. Todd Blanche isn't allowed to play in any of the reindeer games, according to the previous. But, look, he absolutely does it. I mean, there's just an enormous conflict of interest. The personal lawyer of Donald Trump, the guy who sat next to him, next to Trump while Trump was on trial, that eventually led to 34-count indictment, 34-count sentencing. And so, I mean, let me try that one more time.
Yeah.
A 34-count conviction, because, of course, the whole thing shifted a lot. But as Donald Trump was sitting there farting in the courtroom, Todd Blanche was right there next to him. And now he wants to be the Attorney General of the United States. And especially after all of these frivolous prosecutions, these frivolous attempts at indictments. My God, I really hope that Kathleen Williams sanctions him, including all the other lawyers, based on the slush fund alone. So we'll see.
Yeah, you posted about that. The federal judge nullified the purported quote-unquote settlement between Trump's slush fund, causing there was never a case of controversy, and referring his attorney for, as Adam Schiff just said, for discipline. And this is the guy where let's not even talk the Epstein files. I hope that is front and center all week, Bob. His cover-up of the Epstein files. I mean, he just finally had to pay E. Jean Carroll yesterday. He is a proven rapist. And
Absolutely.
Here's his lawyer.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think Todd Blanche was in the room, in the Situation Room, for that discussion in terms of how to bury that one Epstein file that was so damning against Donald Trump. And so he was involved in that conspiracy. Each individual thing that we're talking about here, Stephanie, should be a weeks-long scandal that would practically tear down a presidency. But just add that to the pile of things that I think the American people can no longer keep track of. And
Bob,
that's, I guess, the idea.
Posted about that yesterday. This would be the only story. In any normal time, the president just had to pay a woman he raped almost $6 million. I mean,
that's right.
It's the first time Donald Trump has ever had to pay anyone that he owes money to, right?
Yes.
I mean, it gives you certainly some sliver of hope for the rule of law finally, right?
Well, I mean, in these days when we can't be shocked anymore, I am absolutely shocked over the fact that that financial disclosure story from, 2 weeks ago, where it was very obvious that Donald is self-dealing, he's insider trading.
Billions.
He's betting on the stock market based on his own pronouncements and manipulating the stock, all those things. And it's just like, it's a couple of days and then it goes away. And that should be right there. That story alone. I mean, I hear myself saying this. Well, that story is impeachable. That story is a criminal offense. That story
11
can't
billion
pass
in.
muster.
Yes, 11 billion stories in. And you just also pointed out about Iran. Germane to note here, the Strait wasn't an issue until Donald kerplunked us into a war. I mean, every single issue is just a blistering amount of corruption and/or incompetence. He tacoed in record time. Saying he's going to charge tolls for the Strait of Hormuz, back down on that. And, then they say yesterday ICE is going to stop vehicle stops. Trump's like, today, no. What a ridiculous party. Susan Collins takes credit, and now today Trump has already said, no, we're not stopping.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's an absolute mess. The whole idea here is to frustrate people, confuse people until no one is paying attention to what's going on in the Strait of Hormuz anymore. And the other thing is that this is what we've observed with Donald Trump since the very beginning, which is his whole MO. If you understand this process, you understand what's going on with Donald Trump and the presidency right now, which is that Donald Trump knee-jerks into something, a lie, a con, a crime, some sort of ill-conceived idea that he tries to implement. And then it's this scramble afterwards when it fails to fix that lie, to fix that thing that he knee-jerked into. And then the next thing he does is trying to fix that thing, trying to fix the other thing. It's this Russian doll, and I think the metaphor is appropriate, of screw-ups that he's constantly trying to repair.
Stephanie Miller.
And it feels like home. When you call my name.
Stephanie Miller.
It's like a little prayer. I'm down on my knees. I wanna take you there in the midnight hour. I can feel just like a prayer. You know I'll take you there.
It's true. I will.
Will you?
Absolutely.
She has a new album out, and it's actually really good, and it hit #1.
Don't you look shocked at the Queen?
I mean, she's up there.
Oh,
in age.
Do we have Burp Madonna?
Yeah,
Sam
it's
has
called
number.
Burp Madonna.
That actually, I got that live in the hallways of Hot 97 in
New York.
1980.
80.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Madonna.
Yeah, that's an actual. Yep. She used to sit out. She used to sleep in the hallway with her albums to give to the program director. Yeah.
Hi, I'm Madonna.
Okay. See, you can tell why she's always been a girl after my own heart.
Sure. She's what, 68
So-
now, I
yeah,
think?
so it's up there.
Like, the album is actually really good.
Stop looking shocked.
What? I mean, her last 3 albums were just
I just told
awful.
Sam.
They were terrible.
You know, I have my little baked potato every morning. I had a piece of potato on my shoulder, and I explained to him this is what happens when you get elderly. She's like, Grandma's got peas in her hair again. I'm
She did
sorry.
tell me that.
You're scaring him away.
Yeah,
Stop that.
I don't know what happens when you eat when you're old. It just, I used to take stuff out of my mom's hair. I'm like, Mom, how did you get pudding in your... Okay.
You're scaring him away.
No. I'm just getting him used to reality.
Poor guy.
Amy says, I know this ship has sailed, been smashed to bits on the rocks, and the crew has been eaten by sea monsters, but just imagine what would be happening right now if President Obama had just paid $5.6 million to a woman he raped. Which, this seemed like some sort of shocking thing I said on CNN last night to just state the obvious, that he is an adjudicated rapist who just had to pay a woman nearly $6 million. And we're just like, clutch the pearls. Don't say that.
Oh, goodness.
Cowgirl Kim in California. Hello, Kim.
Hey, if a tree falls in the woods and no one's there to hear it, I'm not going to know the president said a word. But I'm calling because after BTC and Nellis the other day, I made a very short list of what I want our Democratic Senate and Democratic Congress to do.
Okay.
I want women's rights, expand SCOTUS, eliminate electoral college, immigration reform, eliminate gerrymandering, eliminate repeal Citizens United, voting rights, strict punishment for self-dealing, and remove the word unprecedented from the dictionary.
Yep, there you go. Nicely
I like
done.
all of that.
Nicely done, Cowgirl
You should.
Kim.
She should run for office.
Yeah, why not? Why not? Okay, can I just tell you what's happening right now, Sam? So I just gave Bonnie and Clyde their CBD because it's a grooming day.
It helps
It's mobile
calm them.
grooming day. Yes, and so because when they do their pedicures and stuff. But then they know it's grooming day, so Bonnie is going to appeal to you if you can hide her.
Yeah.
So she does. She goes to different people to say, don't tell them.
She tried to do that with Bella. It
tell
didn't
them
work
I'm
with
here.
Bella.
No. Everyone rats her out.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, she's appealing to him.
So that's why she's over there.
Did the governor call? Can I get a stay? Okay, Pagan says this government is going after Taco Bell. After Taco Bell removed items from their menu to prevent cyclospora, the government thinks Taco Bell is responsible for the spread of cyclospora. Does this government not know where fruits and vegetables are grown? Hint, it's not at Taco Bell. Okay, we just talked to Dr. Doom about exploding ass lettuce. Oh, that was a new fun fact, wasn't it? That it could be anywhere from 2 weeks ago, something you ate. That's how long it could take to get so, whew. Strap in over here, kids, because you don't know which bag of salad I ate might kick in.
And also, Pete Hegseth wants to roid up all the soldiers.
Yes. He is so gay.
His obsession with hairless soldiers with abs is getting ridiculous.
And also, everybody posted his, what were those? Are those what are they called?
Oh.
Shoulder presses that he was doing with the dumbbells?
Yeah, military presses. Yeah.
They're like nobody.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That has this
Go
form
Joe.
should be allowed to talk about testosterone, right? And then he has that one leg kick when he does a bench press.
Which girl,
just girl. Yeah.
So-
Somebody's low T. Okay. Here's some fun facts. Fun new game people are playing. If you fly from Fresno, California, to Fukuoka,
Be
Japan.
careful how you say that.
I know. And then back to Palm Beach, Florida, your ticket will read FAT, FUK, DJT.
Fat what?
The FUK is the symbol for that
Trick you into saying that.
city in Japan. If you fly from Palm Beach, Florida to Sioux City, Iowa to Fresno, California to Dickinson, North Dakota, it's DJT, SUX, FAT, DIX. I'm for as much immaturity as you can muster to get through this timeline.
What does he suck? Fat what?
Nothing. Don't. 29 minutes after the hour, Malcolm Nance.
lost the election by more than 7 million votes, 306 to 232 in the Electoral College. The story is that he continues to lie about it, and they've organized an entire political party, albeit a dwindling and shrinking one, around a lie. And then out of that lie, blow all these other lies, like the lie about January 6th, which he says was a beautiful day of hugs and kisses. This is just absurd that he's still obsessed with that lie.
Jamie Raskin, who apparently just joined Hell's Angels in the middle of that.
No, here's the thing.
That interview.
That interview was done at a common place where Congress people exit the Capitol.
Oh, okay.
The right has taken it upon themselves to park some really loud motorcycles outside of there to ruin interviews that are being done.
I see. So it's right wingers being
yes.
Heads.
Exactly.
Okay, yeah.
That's what that
wow,
is.
that's a new story. Okay. Wow. It was sounding like a Bette Midler song. Where'd you meet him? I met him at the candy store. Okay, I'm old, Sam. I apologize once again.
That song is even older than Bette Midler. Bette Midler did the remake of that song.
Right, I don't care. It's the only one that counts. Okay. Todd Blanche, pathetic. Or as the right winger on CNN with me last night said, he did great. Okay.
Jennifer Horn?
Yes. Okay. By the way, someone said, remember when openly and clearly lying before Congress would lead to an almost unanimous rejection of any confirmation hearing? The good old days before lying was a required feature of every right-wing servant. I mean, this is the new normal. Here is Dick Durbin with Blanche.
In less than 18 months at the Department of Justice, you've shown you're still President Trump's personal attorney. Your tenure can be summed up in the 4 words you said, quote, "I love you, sir," to President Trump. This was your response when you were asked what you would say to him. This nation deserves an attorney general who loves the Constitution more than any single president. An attorney general focused on keeping America safe and combating corruption, not satisfying the president's personal grievances.
Yeah. I once again, can you imagine any president previously, someone say, one of their saying, "I love you, sir." I mean, oh my God. It's the sound I hear. Okay. All right. Here is Senator John Kennedy made him do an oopsie. Todd Blanche. Yeah.
Are you and President Trump friends?
I'm his lawyer.
Oops.
Was his lawyer, and now I'm the Deputy Attorney General.
I'm his lawyer.
Oops.
Was his lawyer. Oops.
Oh, by the way, Malcolm Nance is still on his secret mission. We are still trying to locate him. We keep promoting him, and then
he doesn't.
Yes.
He's a spy. He's a well-known spy.
He's a spy. He's not going to show up when you expect him to. What kind of spy is that? Shows up on time, on schedule.
I just realized what I said there was an oxymoron. A well-known spy.
Shh, it's a sequel.
Sorry, Malcolm. I blew your cover. Okay. Go into hiding.
Okay. Senator Sheldon Whitehouse and Todd Blanche. Here we go.
How long do you intend to put up with that Kash Patel character? Are you good with his airplane jaunts? Are you confident he's not drinking on the job? Are you sure none of his travel is a pretext for vacation activities like snorkeling, Olympics, and visiting girlfriends? Are you willing to look at whether he lied to this committee?
That's an extraordinarily obnoxious question, Senator, and I have full faith in Director Patel and the work that he's doing every day.
Great, you got to own that.
This is what's happened, right? Whether it's me on CNN last night, it's shocking or obnoxious to just say the truth. Yeah. What the reporting is on Kash Patel, which the American people have a right to know. First of all, it's on camera. Right. Half of it him boozing, and it's well known on record. By the way,
he shotguns a beer like nobody's business.
Right, but can I just say it's all of them? This is the latest story, of course, today. Secret Service agents assigned to J.D. Vance and his family are fed up with their frequent last-minute travel requests. We paid. Taxpayers paid. Last Thursday, they prepared for Vance and his son to travel aboard Marine 2 helicopter for the elementary school students' golf lesson. I mean, they're just such entitled holes, all of them. Mm-hmm. They're all grifters, I'm telling you. So using Marine 2 cost taxpayers anywhere between $16,000 and $24,600 an hour. Oh, God. Someone said this is ridiculous. Mike Pence or Kamala Harris never pulled anything like that.
Right.
Yeah, of course not.
Can you imagine if Kamala Harris had done something like that?
Yeah, please. The Vances have also recently taken several last-minute helicopter trips to the Virginia area while searching for a home to buy or rent. One person said they change everything. They don't stick to their schedule, and it costs tons of taxpayer money. They're all just so entitled. It's so anyway. That was a perfectly valid question Senator Whitehouse asked. But this guy and then Todd Clayton, none of them will even say Joe Biden won in 2020. Right? And here we go. Angus King.
Is there a problem with voter fraud in this country?
I don't think we can say definitively whether there is or is not.
We've had hundreds of analyses. We've had the Heritage Foundation study that found 1,650 cases out of 2 billion votes counted.
I would love for the American people to have incredible confidence in the integrity of our elections.
I would too, and I would appreciate
I'd like to
if
work.
this administration would cease undermining that confidence.
Trump is the one that's almost single-handedly the one, because they all have to parrot everything he says, and God knows what we're going to hear tonight. Randy Mayhem Singer said the grifting we know of barely scratches the surface. When he's done destroying the dignity of the office and the credibility of this nation, only then will we learn of all the corruption, and it will be staggering. Shame on his enablers, shame on America for electing him twice. I mean, what's today's story, Chris? I can't even keep track. Which of the grift of, the magnets.
Yes, this thing.
I can't keep track. It's like multiple stories a day of corruption.
Rare earth magnets.
Trump urged defense contractors to do magnets yesterday after 7 weeks after it was reported that a top White House aide intervened to help secure a $620 million Pentagon loan for a rare earth magnet startup after Donald Trump Jr.'s venture capital firm took a stake in the company. It was a sales pitch he gave to defense contractors. He said, I hope you're going to do magnets. Somebody out there, I hope you're all brilliant people. Magnets, do magnets, okay? I'll tell you how to make money. Do magnets. You're doing a lot of great stuff. Do magnets. Because one thing we don't have, but we're getting close, but do magnets. What?
How do you do magnets?
Because his son is making money off of it. By the way, do you remember he previously had told reporters nobody knows what magnets are? And you remember the part about magnets stop working when they get wet. But now you should do magnets. Do it. And you notice he's a little repetitive. Do magnets. Do it. Let me read that again. Do it. I hope you're going to do magnets. Somebody out there. You're all brilliant people. Magnets. Do magnets, okay?
What was he saying people should do magnets for?
I buy them so his stupid son, Cokie McCokespoon, can make more money.
Gummy McGummerson.
Gummy McGummerson from Gumtown. Nothing but gums.
He's
Seth,
all gums.
Seth in L.A.
Like Meg Ryan.
Can you imagine him eating gummies? They're stuck all underneath it. Yeah. Hi.
Hi.
Hi, Seth.
So
Go ahead.
If you fly from New York to Osaka, Japan, to Palm Beach, and then to Jakarta, you have JFK, KIX, DJT, BUT.
Yay!
That's
okay.
fun.
See, this started with just Palm Beach to Sioux City because then you just get DJT sucks.
Yeah.
Right.
I
But now
get nervous
get
when
creative.
people.
I know. Don't say the thing.
Yeah.
You can read some of the things, but don't. I didn't know there was a city in Japan that's abbreviated.
FUK?
Yes, that's the airport
Yeah,
code.
right.
We're just saying an airport code.
What?
I'm eyeing the dump.
Yeah, good. Thank you.
Sam's like finger on the dump. Is that? It's an airport code, Sam. He's still never explained to me why I can say the word hand and then obviously I can say the word job, but for some reason
You can't say those two together.
Okay. Rules. Who said?
FCC. What do you get when you pronounce the letters FCC?
Well, you think about it.
Uh-huh.
All right, do it at home.
Yep.
Who said it's funny because I'm an 8th generation Texan in the race. I think California transplants like Ken Paxton can become Texans. That's what's great about our state.
Foghorn Leghorn.
No, that was James Tallarico.
I was close.
He's fantastic. He is fantastic. I'll say what's the matter with you, boy. He's fantastic, James Tallarico. I am really rooting for him. You have your I'm a Talafrico shirt, don't you?
I thought about wearing that today, but I skipped over it. Maybe I'll wear it tomorrow.
All right. You know who you don't hear enough from? Richard Gere. I just randomly want to hear from Richard Gere.
He's a rogue personality who's destroyed so much. He's hurt so many people, and he's caused so many deaths. But it will be over. He's an old man. He's a damaged personality. You can see he must have had a horrible childhood to be the man that he is now.
That reminds me of when I ran into Moby. And I'm like, how you doing in this show? And he's like, it's a beautiful day. We have dogs, and he's going to die soon. Nobody has to say who they're talking about. Just,
I love Moby's attitude.
yeah, it's, that's the sunny side. Okay. Oh, by the way, since we played Richard Gere, I was telling you yesterday, I agree with what George Lucas said. He he has a bone to pick with Hollywood when it comes to focus groups and test screenings. He said Hollywood's over-reliance on focus groups has created studio movies dictated entirely by fans over filmmakers. He said, I don't like focus groups. You remember they focus grouped me for my late-night TV show. They're ridiculous.
Is that why you
The women said she looks like she would steal my husband, which I don't... I'm a gay, first of all. And secondly, and then because I was doing the radio show and the TV show, they had to put in what they call it, Sam, a body double for a photo shoot for me. And it was a woman that was considerably heavier than I am. And I'm like, the point of getting a body double is she's supposed to look better than... Anyway, and so then the people in the focus group said, I wouldn't watch her. Her hips are too big. And so it's not even my hips, but that's what a focus group will get you. Anyway, George Lucas said the audience doesn't know what they want to see if they don't like a character that's interesting, and as a filmmaker, I want to find out why. But when the studios hear that, they take the wrong message. They let the audience actually make the movie. Of course, now they go crazy with that. Now it's all about what the fans think. This isn't how to make the movie. You make a movie by finding someone that knows how to make movies, that has a story to tell and is passionate about it. And they said in this story, James Gunn said he tested Superman and discovered audiences opposed the moment when the Superman character saves the squirrel. They didn't like it, so he cut it. But then he put it back in because he stops to save the squirrel, and the audiences were like, "Boo! No! Why would he stop to save a squirrel? Because he's on the way to, save the world."
An editing issue. Like it was like that little part was in the wrong place or something.
You know what I'm saying? We get, how many quote-unquote notes do we get a day, Chris?
We used to get a lot more.
Helpful criticism by email on social media.
Well, also in that same interview with George Lucas, he said he has no problem with AI. So,
Right, well,
yeah. I know. So you win some, you lose some.
Focus groups are ridiculous. That's all I'm saying. 46 minutes after the hour. This board. I don't mind that you curse my name as long as you're saying my name when we're not together. Okay. So, I read your tweet earlier, or thread. You said that Kentucky Republicans have tried to take away Governor Beshear's ability to appoint Mitch McConnell's replacement. Beshear says he's considering ignoring the state legislature and appointing a Democrat to replace McConnell anyway. He believes that law is unconstitutional, that Kentucky's constitution gives him the authority, and that he's prepared to test the GOP on it. This is exactly how Democrats should be fighting. Here. I keep saying be like Mitch, not dead, but, ruthless.
Yeah, I mean, look, they will break we shouldn't be breaking the law, but they will certainly press the law and bend it as far as they can. They'll test every norm. They don't care about being polite. We should be doing that too. They are currently, let's be clear about this. Mitch McConnell went into cardiac arrest and they found him lifeless on the floor. We have not seen him. I don't know if that photo is real or not, but I know he doesn't look good in that either. So if that's the best they can do, that's not great. He's had a fake 20-minute phone call with Scott Jennings. You know what they would do in this exact situation? They would call the special election, and I think Governor Beshear is 100% right. They're down a man right now. They can't get anything done in the Senate right now with two people down because Lindsey Graham also died. Let them be in disarray. But when he dies, we should appoint a Democrat to it because they're trying to violate Kentucky's constitution.
Also was doing a lot of work in that sentence.
Yeah.
Right, well.
It's just, Mitch McConnell is dead. Okay. Yeah, you said, right, they tried to take his ability. This is what they always do. They make new rules. They did it in North Carolina, too, right, Mike? They just, if a Democrat wins, they're like, nope, sorry, Roy Cooper, you don't get any powers that a governor normally gets.
Yeah, they will rewrite the rules. They did the same thing to the governor of Wisconsin to weaken his power because, by the way, the gerrymander situation in the state of Wisconsin for decades now has been ridiculous, meaning that the voters have to vote for Democrats by a 60-40% margin to take control of the House. Now, they fixed some of that with the Supreme Court rulings and stuff like that, but it's an absolute mess. They will change the rules. They will redraw the districts. They will try to pass the SAVE Act. They will steal ballots. They'll do anything to win. And we have to make sure the wave is too big to rig, period. Everybody get out and vote, for real. Like, your life depended on it. I hate to be a cliche, but do it.
Yeah. So on McConnell, too, you've been saying the same thing we've been saying. You said not everything's a conspiracy, but after all the obvious lying about McConnell's disappearance, you can't blame people for being skeptical. You know, we were talking. You said Trump immediately making Lindsey Graham's death all about him is so classic. I was the last one to talk to him. Now we can pass the SAVE Act. He's such a damn drama queen. I mean, there's nothing beneath them, and they lie about everything, right?
No, it's they lie about everything, and I mean, look, generally speaking, I believe the story that Lindsey Graham died of an aortic dissection. Like, that is consistent with a 71-year-old workaholic who drank a lot and did God knows what else behind closed doors. So it doesn't seem odd to me. But when they lie about everything, I simply think I don't blame anybody for that. It's your patriotic duty to question any government, even a government you like, but certainly one that lies to you the way that this one does. And between McConnell and Epstein and the corruption and everything else, like, Donald Trump has a press conference on Thursday scheduled to claim that China or Iran stole the 2020 election from him.
Yeah.
Like, he's going to declare Ossoff and Warnock as illegitimate senators. Like, that's crazy town. So why would you trust anything that they say?
Yeah. I mean, Mike, I was just going to ask you about that. Is everybody speculating on what, is he going to declare a national emergency? Like, how far will he go to F with these midterms? And I think that's clearly he's laying the groundwork to say, which again, as we said from day one, it makes no sense. So you're saying when Democrats were in charge in 2016 and 2024, those were fair, but when you were in charge in 2020,
right,
it was rigged somehow.
Well, it's like we were able to rig the election when Democrats had less power, but we weren't able to do it when Democrats had more power. Makes zero sense, and it's just really stupid. And this is also, like, again, I don't know how far he'll go. I don't. I think we should be prepared for everything. I will say he's kind of a bit of, like, he's a bit of a wuss with this stuff. Like, he likes to talk a big game to throw red meat to his base, then he really doesn't do anything with it. Now, that doesn't mean he won't do something with it if Stephen Miller or somebody else gets in his ear. So let's be prepared for everything right up to a third term. But I think he will probably just give a speech and nothing will come of it, will be the most likely scenario of what's happening here, because that's what he does. But it's really bad for them electorally, because the American people hate this stuff.
Well, we were saying they just drained the reflecting pool. There's clearly no gashes in it. And he's like, look at the gashes. You're just like, we're in that.
Are the gashes in the room with us right now?
What there are, what you can see are tire tracks from where he drove his stupid motorcade over. Like, it's just.
Listen, in Donald Trump's world, Lindsey Graham is alive. Mitch McConnell is young, fit, and healthy. There's a gash in the reflecting pool.
Minutes after the hour, Malcolm Nance's secret mission got more secret.
Yep.
Okay, so we will see him, I'm sure, next week.
Yeah.
Oh, the Washington Post headline, reflecting pool peeling probably caused by application flaws, a post-analysis finds. Yeah, you think so? I was sorry I didn't get to that topic on CNN, because you just have to look at right-wingers and go, do you have to say every ridiculous thing he says? Like, will you have to sit here and say that it was slashed by vandals when anybody with eyes can see that it wasn't? Okay.
They can't.
Okay, I'm just asking.
Because they're weak people.
Okay.
They can't go against Daddy MAGA.
I was preempted either because I mentioned that Trump is an adjudicated rapist or because they got a breaking news interview with the latest family of the latest person slaughtered by ICE. But according to the right-winger, everything is going great in Trump's America. It's all fantastic. Okay. Except for the vandals that slash the reflecting pool.
With box cutters.
Yes. 350 feet.
Yards now. It's yards now.
All right. You know what? I am good enough actor. I could do right-wing pundit. I could do that. I could go do the talking points.
You get on TV a lot more.
Yes, I know. I'd have that just glassy stare in my eye. Just, Hi, Thom in Virginia. Hi, Thom.
Hi there.
Hiya.
Hey, I was just, well, first of all, about the reflecting pool. The stories have been coming out about that, including the fact that the material that they sprayed on was basically akin to spray on truck bed liner. In fact, I heard the brand name Rhino, and that is a known brand of truck bed liner.
Right.
And they always tell you when you're going to put that stuff on, you got to make sure the surface is properly repaired or it will not adhere.
Yeah.
So this is, I think it just all goes back to doing it on the cheap with a contractor who didn't know what he was doing, used whatever materials he can get his hands on. But the other thing I wanted to talk
Thom,
about was...
but don't worry, because that same guy that screwed it up the first time is going to fix it, so don't worry. Yeah.
Yeah, he gets another contractor, have another crack at it. Isn't that wonderful?
Yeah, that's great.
This is a great country to watch. But the other thing I want to mention is the whole bit about magnets. Trump was at a defense contractor in Pennsylvania, and the man's doing a weave practically in every conversation now. But he went from talking, he brought up the magnets, but then either before or after he mentioned the magnets, he went back to his complaint in his first term about electromagnetic catapult systems from the first one was USN Gerald Ford.
Right.
Gerald Ford. And he just kept saying, we got to go back to steam. And then he even mentioned in the clip that I saw, I think Aaron Rapar shared it, that he said, everybody comes up to me in the Navy and says, why don't they make them steam? You can fix it with a blowtorch and a hammer. You don't need computers. You don't need to do all that. And it's like, dude, welcome to the 21st century.
I know. That's the main thing. He's like 11 billion years old. It's a communists are coming. It's just, we need to go back to steam. Okay, Trump reportedly reversed his administration's decision to suspend most ICE traffic stops because why? Tomi Lahren and Steve Bannon.
Yep.
Trump concluded that pausing traffic stops would make them all look weak. So that's why and also teeny tiny former Border Patrol Chief Greg Bovino, who is 3 inches tall. No. Didn't he join a mini band? Did he join Mini Kiss?
I think he was a member of the Lollipop Guild.
Oh, was he?
Yeah.
Is that what he's doing now?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Well, because he didn't like it, so then Trump flip-flopped in a day. Okay. It's just called
Tiny.
Oh, Tiny Kiss? Is that what it's called?
Kiss.
Oh,
that's what we first called it, and then you changed the name.
All right. Oh, okay. It's my fault. Fine. Yeah. And then he went back in his tree and continued making pecan sandies. Maggie in Massachusetts, good morning. Hello.
Good morning.
Hi.
On Tomi Lahren, Charlie Pierce used to refer to her as the walking clothing allowance. I think that still applies.
Oh, I've seen her wear clothing at the gym in person, and she wears the hoochiest tights at the gym.
Maggie, she's another one that could not have been nicer to me off stage. Just, I love you. Oh my God, I've been a fan for so long.
Will you be my mom?
But Stephanie,
they have mommy issues.
I'm actually calling about I'm actually calling about J.D. Vance and the military helicopters.
Yes.
You just mentioned something really important. That he used it once to go house hunting for a place to rent in Virginia.
Yep.
Yeah.
We already provide him a house. It's a naval observatory. So what is he doing?
I know. I can't believe he just talked about, I get all this stuff free, and I could look like an entitled hole. You are an entitled a-hole. Yeah. Okay, Dana Goldberg next.
Yeah.
It's the Stephanie Miller Show.
Joe Biden made a rare public appearance to promote his latest project. He is going to be on the next season of Love Island. No, he wrote a book. He's got a new book coming out. Here it is.
Since I left the presidency, I've had a lot of people ask me, Joe, what have you been doing? I've written a book about my time as president. It's called Promise Me America. Promise Me America is about my faith in America and the American people. I hope you'll read it, and I hope it strengthens your faith in what we can do as a nation and a people.
Hey, sex sells. It sells. Joe Biden's memoir comes out after the midterms, and it will be available on both paperback and hard candy. Because he's old, is why. The hard candy. They like the hard candy.
Gosh, the media hardly covered that about Biden being old. Ha! Oh my God, and he's going to outlive every single one of these mother that said he was too old. Okay, hey, look who's here.
Raised by a wild pack of Jews, here's Dana Goldberg. Goldberg's here.
Ha
Gold, ha ha ha. Voted one of the top 5 funniest lesbians in America. Goldberg's here. Come stick with you, baby, for 1,000 years. Nothing gets better when Dana's here. Dana's here.
Wow. Good morning, Dana Goldberg. Hiya.
Good morning, Stephanie Miller and all my staff heads. Good morning, good morning.
Hiya. Listen, this is what's stuck in my craw. We're in hour 3 already. But, we were talking about, Harry Enton talking about, or Trump's numbers on inflation. They're so bad. They're in Joe Biden, Jimmy Carter territory. And Dana, I just said over and over, this is how we got here, is how the mainstream media covered Joe Biden. We
Absolutely.
had literally, provably the best recovery from COVID. And first of all, COVID and the economy was Trump's fault because we had the worst response in the world. And we had the best economic recovery under Joe Biden. He handed Donald Trump a 2.9% inflation. We all know everything's more expensive now. But I'm not surprised, his inflation numbers are bad because the mainstream media repeated it over and over again.
100%. That's what people are believing. That's why we have to, in independent media, continue to tell the truth.
Yeah. I did that last night on CNN, and then I was similarly ejected from 2 panels I was supposed to be on. I don't know, Dana. Who can say? I mentioned that he is an adjudicated rapist who has just had to pay a woman nearly $6 million, who is also credibly accused of child rape in the Epstein files. And then suddenly that was the only panel I did. I was not.
You were wished out into the cornfield.
Yes, either that or there was, in fact, breaking news.
Good for you.
You know that hook that they used in vaudeville?
Nope.
But you could feel the panic, Dana, and I just spoke the truth.
Absolutely.
I said, we were talking about the Todd Blanche hearings, and I said, this is the first time a president has needed a criminal defense attorney because he's a criminal. He's a 34-count convicted felon. He is an adjudicated rapist. And they're all like, well, none of this has been proven. I'm like, yes, it has.
You buy a jury, actually.
Right. And also that I said he is credibly accused of child rape. I talked about the woman that was interviewed 4 times by the FBI that was deemed credible enough that that evidence convicted Epstein and Maxwell. I'm just
100%.
Yeah.
You continue to tell the truth, Steffi. You continue if they ever let you on again.
No, they will never let me on. They will never let me on again.
They learned their lesson.
Narrator, they will not. Yeah. But it's like this thing tonight. I mean, here's the reporting. Trump's primetime address Thursday night is forcing TV networks to choose air potential 2020 election falsehoods or risk backlash from a White House that's shown little hesitation in confronting the media. They're all
awful.
Scared essless. They don't know what to do.
Yeah, tonight's going to be a disaster. Right. I mean, it really is. I don't know what we can do to combat it other than, the law and the judges and people like Mark Elias making sure that we, have our lawsuits ready to go. Yeah. Fox News had to pay out almost $1 billion for falsehoods about the 2020 election. And these TV stations are about to air him saying the same thing. I don't understand why they don't know that they're opening themselves up to lawsuits because they're not going to sue Trump. If you're allowing him to spew these lies on your network, it's no different than Fox News saying that Dominion voting machines were compromised.
Yeah. I mean, the other Politico headline is Republicans fear tonight's speech by Trump. He's promising to reveal really big news on election security. Many Republicans wish he wouldn't. The people I talk to are scaredless. One former Trump administration, granted anonymity, of course, to speak candidly. It's not scaredless about the text of what he's going to say. It's what does he add to the text. I mean... But here we are. I mean, literally, Dan, I was saying I could feel the panic and the air raid sirens going off in CNN because this is what ABC settled with George Stephanopoulos over,
right?
Just stating the truth about what happened in the E. Jean Carroll case, which was just upheld by the Supreme Court, and he had to pay. As you said, we love you, E. Jean Carroll. I mean, she's the only one that's ever gotten him to pay up, right?
I know, which is wild, and it is proof that he raped her. He was defaming her for telling the truth about a rape. If you don't want to connect those dots, you don't have to on the other side, but that is the truth.
Yeah. So you would, of Lindsey Graham, you said if you can't say anything nice, you know how that ends. Okay, so... I mean, I said to Dr. Redlener, the only thing is I hope the Ukraine aid passes. That's the one issue he was right about.
Yeah.
And if there's some of them are saying, oh, in honor of Lindsey Graham, we should, which would be doubly funny if Putin is the one that poisoned him.
Listen, I know everyone thought, oh, I'm so
Allegedly.
tired. He was one of the funniest guys I've ever met. Funny, you know what bothered me most? And listen, I like Booker. Right. I have some issues with Cory Booker, but in his video, he said, we would spar and we would go at it. And then when the cameras were off, he would come to me and say, I want to make a deal, which tells me this is all political theater.
Well, Chris and I talked about the right-wing woman I'm on with a lot that I was last night. They couldn't be nicer in the green room and in hair and makeup.
Always are.
Biggest fan ever, never miss my show.
I follow you on Instagram.
Love your pictures with you and your girlfriend, so cute. What? And then we get on air and
to them it's a show. It's
all
a show.
It is all a show.
Yeah.
It is all a show. And that's what tells me about, like, even these politicians where I'm like, stop eulogizing this guy. Like, great, he was some funny guy who also took away our rights, our health insurance, and so many other things. And you're fine, humanize him. I understand he had a family. But the fact, the fact that they put his sister in his seat and none of the Democrats are screaming about this is insane.
I know. And also, Dana, we keep saying over and over, we don't care if liberals are the one, we don't care if he was gay. You know what I mean? It's just, but he was of a party and voted stuff that hurts LGBTQ people.
That's exactly it. It's the hypocrisy for us. You live your life. As long as you're not hurting kids, I don't care what you're doing, and animals. I don't care what you're doing. But yeah, that's the hypocrisy for us. Not like, oh, you guys are taking slurs at him and he was never out. And then there's other people that are like, he was out to us. We were just fine with it. And we weren't chastising him about it. And then he's voting against his own rights? Like, come on.
Yeah.
How do you square that circle? It's just,
Also, of course we talked about, there just is no low for Trump that he literally, first of all, lied and turned Lindsey Graham's death before the body's cold into an ad for the SAVE Act.
Of
right?
course.
And Republican Senator Kramer was the latest Republican, so the votes are not there to pass the SAVE Act. He said there's zero chance of it happening for very good reasons. They're not going to blow up the filibuster, blah, blah, blah. But I mean, the fact that Trump's like, oh, last thing I talked to Lindsey, he said, we're all set on the SAVE Act. Like, that's a lie.
Yeah.
And secondly, it just, this party, they're just, okay. And that's why I was saying I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but it was when Trump said there's nothing more to see here and the FBI's wasting their time and don't investigate. I was like, huh?
The moment that says that.
Maybe.
The moment.
Yes.
There's clearly more to see here. I mean, there was like 20 agents that raided his house after. I'm like, what kind of evidence are you guys getting rid of? That's wild.
How many butt plugs can one
Oh, stop.
guy have? What, I don't know. I'm just wondering what they found. I don't know. Okay.
How many balls of poppers in his fridge?
Yeah, I'm just wondering. Is there an inventory? Okay. You also posted, Mitch has been oddly chatty with everyone except the President of the United States. Sure, Jan. It's just...
I just love that. No, for once, the president, and I love that because everyone thought that video meant something else on Instagram. For once, the president said the truth. I haven't spoken to him. I don't know how he is. which made everyone else look like an idiot. Because
Right.
if the president hasn't spoken to him, you think he's just taking calls with Joe Schmo?
Yeah.
No, he's not taking calls from anybody.
Yeah.
And that proof of life photo, give me a
Oh,
break.
my
If you
God.
do a video or don't do anything. That was insane.
Well, first of all, it's weeks later, and all it is a still photo that clearly looks old. Like, his face doesn't look the same as it does
Right.
now. And you know, and he, like I say, you can't talk to Governor Bashir. You're sitting up in a check shirt and jeans.
Yeah,
With
and
no
smiling
matter-
away.
But you can't talk to Governor Bashir. You can't make a video, or you can't
Why
make a statement.
hasn't anyone gone in to visit him at this rehabilitation center?
Right.
And you're telling me they're going to put a sitting senator just with a general pop in a rehabilitation center instead of sending him home and helping him there? I don't believe any of it.
And I'm cranky because I was up late getting booted from CNN, but but the mainstream media, once again, so many people have said, Dana, somebody has got to know. In the mainstream, there has got to be people that know the actual, I mean, and I don't know what it is, brain dead, something, it is obviously all very fishy.
I think I'm taking bets on August 4th. They announced that he died.
Right. They're clearly trying to beat this deadline. It's just,
I'm going to say August 4th.
Yeah.
Because that's a few days after, so it doesn't look too obvious that we beat the 3-month deadline.
Yeah.
But I'm going to say right around August 4th, they announced that Mitch McConnell's no longer with us.
Oh, my God. We've been talking.
He relapsed. He got pneumonia. Pneumonia took him out. Blah, 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 blah.
I know, and then you wonder, like, because people are like, "Oh, well, they couldn't really do that, could they?" And I'm like, "Would you put anything past this Republican Party?"
not.
Like,
Yeah,
because people are like, "Oh, he couldn't really be dead, could he?" I'm like, "Yeah, I
he
think
could.
so."
I saw one of the funniest memes. I mean, talk about comedy coming out. And the funniest one I think I saw about this whole thing is that someone said, "Wow, they are really throw out your fruits and vegetables a little too seriously." And I almost fell out of my chair.
It's terrible. That is terrible.
Why would
Dana
you
Louise.
also announce your proof of life the day Lindsey Graham dies? Like, oh, hey, we're not both done. Just one of us.
Well, that was the other thing that he didn't mention, Lindsey Graham. You're like, really? Was this just done today?
He hasn't put out any statement about Lindsey Graham, which is weird.
Yeah. Okay. So we were talking about this latest grift of J.D. Vance misusing the Secret Service, flying his son to, what is it, his golf lesson or something, like, you know, in an Air Force Two helicopter. But the other thing J.D. Vance said, I'm so tired of us being told we're being snowflakes, right?
Yeah.
Whenever someone on their side says something terrible, right? He said, it was talking about what's his name, UFC fighter calling Michelle Obama a man. Right. And he said, well, people lost their minds about it. And I was like, what? An amped up fighter told a joke after a fight. People say stuff all the time. People who really flip out about it kind of lose their minds. I just don't understand that. I mean, it's at the White House about the former First Lady. And part of their insane transphobia, whatever it is, you know, and also about someone that was not a man.
Which makes me so sad about his fall. Like, I don't think J.D. Vance is a good person, but I think he used to be a better person. There's all kinds of stories that J.D. Vance used to make baked goods for his trans friends after they had transitioned while they were healing.
Yeah.
And he would make them baked goods. Like, this guy apparently wasn't always this monster, and it just makes me so sad, this fall from any sort of humanity.
Dana, to bring this segment full circle before we break, that's exactly what he had in common with Lindsey Graham. That's what makes it worse. They knew better. Nobody was more eloquent than they were about who Donald Trump is. They know Donald Trump didn't change. They did. They lost their spine, their soul, any principle they ever had. Remember, what was the Lindsey Graham one I forgot about? He's a race-baiting, xenophobic, religious bigot. You know, if we nominate him, you know, we'll get destroyed and we'll deserve it. J.D. Vance, he's America's Hitler. He's cultural heroin. I mean, yeah. I mean, those two in particular spoke, and by the way, said more things than a lot of us on the left have said. Right?
Absolutely. Yeah. Have I ever called him Hitler? Maybe I've compared.
I may have referenced Hitler.
Maybe.
But he started it. Okay.
That's right.
20 minutes after the hour. All right, well, now here's where things are going to get prickly. You write, we track the progress of the prion disease afflicting American conservatism and thus the Republican Party as conservatism primary electoral manifestation. The prion disease entered the party on or about 1964. Oh, no.
Not about your daddy, about his running mate.
Awkward. But you said when Republican power shifted south and west from Wall Street and into the wild kingdom in which the remnants of American apartheid had taken root, it was exacerbated with the election of Ronald Reagan. So you go, you just talk about it. You said even when Bill Clinton was elected, the prion disease had a major outbreak, and Lindsey Graham was one of the index patients. When the Great Penis Hunt of 1998 was launched, Graham was front and center. He appeared before the Senate as one of the House members. I'd forgotten that, in fact, impeaching Bill Clinton.
Yeah, he was one of the House managers. Very young, had very dark hair, very youthful looking.
Yeah.
Much more youthful looking than he was prior to his questionable demise. But I mean, by the way, do we believe that? I mean, I'm reading now that some people think he died in Ukraine.
Oh, I didn't hear that, but it just
and they flew him back.
I don't think it's been clear as to where or exactly when he died.
Right.
Yeah. Was it the reporting that was the day he got back from Ukraine or the next day? I don't know. That's why, obviously there's.
I think he made the phone call to Trump on the plane.
I do not believe that his last act before joining the choir in Visibule was to call Donald Trump and say, "Go Save America" act.
Yeah, exactly.
And he fell over dead.
That's what
and
I
he
said.
Fell over dead. Boom.
And first of all, no one thinks every Republican has told him they don't have the votes. He's like, Lindsey told me we're all set on the Save America Act. And like, no, he
didn't.
Okay. But I know.
They can't get the Save America Act to the floor.
No.
It doesn't matter how many votes he has.
Exactly.
So
he doesn't have the votes to get it to the floor. And John Thune at this point is, looking for a lifeboat.
Yeah. It's so interesting. You did a lot of direct quotes from Lindsey Graham back when he was impeaching Bill Clinton, and it is just amazing the moralizing they all did. And then the man they now defend, right? It was
astonishing to me.
Yeah.
I went back through because you go down rabbit holes for something like that. I only went there to see Graham stuff, but some of the floor speeches from the Republicans back then about walking on the beach thinking deep thoughts and wondering what you're going to tell your children and all of this stuff.
Oh, God.
And a lot of these clowns are still in government.
And now they have literally incredibly accused child rapist and adjudicated regular rapist in the Oval Office. It's so his famous quote back then: "If we nominate Trump, we will get destroyed and we will deserve it." You said the president leveraged Graham's personal life into supporting him. All it really would have taken was an appeal to Graham's insatiable sweet tooth for access to power. Consider, for example, his red-faced tantrum during Brett Kavanaugh's confirmation hearings, which was surpassed in its hair-on-fire hysteria only by tantrums thrown by the nominee himself. He got extra vapors defending rapists.
I was in the room sitting with the great Dahlia Lithwick when that happened.
Oh, wow.
And the two of us looked at each other like, that man is going to stroke out. Well, I thought he was going to, expire and go to meet his maker that afternoon.
Yeah. I remember. Well, and you also talked about January 6th when he arose in the Senate and said quite memorably, Trump and I, we've had a hell of a journey. I hate it to end this way. Oh, my God, I hate it. From my point of view, he's been a consequential president. All I can say is count me out. Enough is enough. And then literally, I don't know how much sooner after that was. Can we move forward without President Trump? I'm determined we can't grow without him. I mean.
Yeah, that was the first quote was obviously in January, right after the insurrection. The other one was in May.
Right.
So it took 5 months for him to decide that the insurrectionist president was necessary.
Yeah. You just said Lindsey Graham's death was used by the president, so he so slavishly served as a political bludgeon, and by the president who made Lindsey Graham's death all about himself. He lived as a grist and died as grist. I mean, I was saying, he was asked directly, Charlie, on Newsmax about whether he thought Putin was involved. That obviously the poisoning in Russia can cause heart attacks. And I said, what did I say, Chris, yesterday? I'm like, if that does come out, he will defend Putin. And sure enough, that's the one conspiracy theory he dismissed, right?
Right, absolutely. He dismisses, any conspiracy theories.
Stephanie Miller. Stephanie Miller.
Motley Crue. What?
It's Poison.
Poison. Okay.
You are a skinny bop, though. Let's be honest.
Yes, you are a
very
skinny bop, Steph.
You're a skinny bop.
Sure, right, okay.
You're a thin, fit bop.
I love what Chris just said to Sam this morning. You're a band T-shirt guy, aren't you? He's that kind of guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. He's that millennial, you know. So
who doesn't love? I like the rock ballads from Poison, if I'm honest. So there you have it.
Ah, there you go. Yeah.
Yeah, we were talking about the passing of Bonnie Tyler, who I loved, and if
Yeah.
you haven't sang, "I Really Need You Tonight" at someone, then you really haven't lived.
It's one of my favorite karaoke songs to sing.
Okay. Now I want to go to karaoke with you.
I
Okay.
know.
It's full of drama.
I'm the one
That's what
that'll
I love
come from
about it.
behind the screen and go, turn around, bright eyes. And then you can do the other part.
Every now and then I fall apart.
Turn around,
Okay.
bright
I really need you tonight. Forever's going to start tonight is my point, Dana. Here's my point. Forever is going to start tonight because we have to listen to that mother.
Yeah.
Oh my
God, and this nonsense.
Are you really going to watch it live?
No.
Okay.
But you know I'm going to
No,
have
I'm
to.
going to watch the clips.
We have to digest it.
Yes.
Yeah, we do.
Oh,
but
yeah,
I'm not going
yeah.
to watch it live.
But it's just, Dana, the resources being used. The FBI has explored using AI to assess the validity of signatures on tens of thousands of mail-in ballots seized from Fulton County, Georgia, from 2020. I mean, we are just going to litigate this. These are what, they still haven't found Nancy Guthrie's mom. And this is what all our FBI resources are going to.
And anybody who's seen 6 fingers on an AI hand knows how accurate AI is.
God.
Also, let's talk about the fact that those 2 Democrats won on the same ballot that 9 other Republicans did. So are
Yes.
you going to invalidate the other 9 Republicans that happened to win on that ballot?
Dana, none of it makes any sense. He was in charge.
Yeah. That's the thing.
2020.
Apparently our elections are fine in 2016 when he won. Our elections were fine the last time he won. The only election that seems to be wrong in the history of our elections is the one where he lost.
Right. And only him. All of the Republicans that won were completely legitimate. It's just, on its face, it's so ridiculous that we're
Yeah,
still
but
even talking about this.
I know, and giving it so much weight and credit. I cannot believe. I'm really disappointed in these television stations. I understand they're worried about losing their licenses and blah, 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 but we're also going to lose our democracy in the election at this point if you somehow allow him to put these baseless lies that the election was stolen. And the election probably was stolen. It just wasn't in his favor. The last election probably was stolen from us.
Yeah. I know many people have said, based on what happened in 2016 and 24, he probably cheated in 2020 too. They just didn't count on the mail-in ballots because of COVID.
Yeah.
And that's
Yeah.
why he hates them,
Yeah.
So this is the latest forecast. Democrats are in a position to win the House this fall while the Senate's on track to hold 50-50. Oh, God. Please let us, however, we have to get the Senate back, Dana. I hope we do.
I'll call Nancy Kerrigan and Tanya Harding right into this. Let's
Okay.
get Tanya Harding on this case.
All right.
I don't care which one.
29 minutes after the
I'm
hour.
kidding. I don't support violence.
Kidding. Dana Goldberg's here.
don't have the money to pay for Medicare for all. We don't have the money to rebuild our schools. We don't have the money to rebuild our water infrastructure. And in the end, we're sending money abroad to kill other people and their kids and to destroy their infrastructure and their schools and their healthcare. To me, that just doesn't make sense.
That is Abdul El Sayed, the Michigan Senate candidate.
Yeah.
So, Dana, before I got booted off CNN last night for mentioning that Trump is a adjudicated rapist, I was saying even the topics they set up for these left-right panels, what I was supposed to talk about is, Joe Biden's book is that bad news for Democrats. They don't really matter. And then the other thing was Israel, funding for Israel, Democrats in disarray. And, how many times can we say this? We've had, you are Jewish. We've had this conversation with our Jewish friends a million times. It is not as Semitic to be against Netanyahu and his policies and what is happening in Gaza. And
Absolutely.
they keep
Just
trying
like
to make
it's
it
not un-American to be against Trump.
Exactly.
Period. So
Exactly.
It is the same thing. I have feelings around this. You know that. I do believe that we have a right to protection as well, and a state. I do not think that war crimes are appropriate, and I don't think the government has Israel's best interest in mind at all.
Yeah. Well, and also, as we were saying back a bazillion years ago when we actually were trying to be an honest broker, we would say stop building settlements. We would say things that you would, that would actually mediate something that could get to a two-state solution. I think we got the closest under Bill Clinton. But
and now you have two governments, whoever's in, you've got Hamas and then you've got Netanyahu. Neither of them care about their people. They just power and land. Neither of them care about. You will never convince me that they care about the people in their homelands.
And I'm not dumb, Dana. I get the difference that Hamas absolutely targets civilians. I get that Israel doesn't try to target civilians, but you have to look at the reality that I don't know what the number is I saw. Several thousand, 5,000.
That is a very big difference. Yes.
Children under 5, though. Palestinian children under 5 that have been, the numbers that have been killed. It's like, well, you might not be trying to, but you are. Yeah. But you are, Blanche. You are. Yeah. Did anyone say that to Todd Blanche?
And now we are.
Yeah.
We
by proxy, absolutely.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, I mean, when you talk about blowing up a school full of little girls, I'm like, oh, that's us. That was our war crime. That's Iran.
Yeah. Why do you think that Marco Rubio wants to get rid of the ICC? He wants to get rid of these international courts because he doesn't think ICE should be tried there. That's not where ICE goes to be tried.
And by the way,
because the war crimes we're committing, possibly in Iran.
It's funny you make that. I was just thinking of that analogy last night, Dana, that, we give all this money to ICE and there were supposed to be reforms, and they're not reforms. They haven't changed their behavior. They're executing people in cold blood. There's no why are there no body cams?
We couldn't get the body cams to them fast enough. We're still waiting on that funding. You have plenty of money.
But it's also
plenty of money.
Funding to Israel. It's the same thing. While Netanyahu's in charge and there's war crimes going on. I mean, and by the way, that's kind of bipartisan. Senator Bernie Sanders announced he's supporting Thomas Massey's bill to cut off military aid to Israel. Sanders accused the country of committing genocide in Gaza, called its war against Iran reckless and illegal. I mean, let's not forget we're in Iran because of Netanyahu.
And going back to the International Criminal Court and what J.D. Vance said, I don't know why he's sticking his nose into that. The U.S. has never been a signatory, nor has ever been a member of the International Criminal Court. So why is he trying to disband a court that we are not a member of?
Yeah,
that seems like it's sticking.
Because you know who they want to try. Netanyahu.
Yes.
He's the one that has been up in his own people. Want him tried in the international. So yes, they're doing another favor for Israel by Marco Rubio butting into this and trying to dismantle something that we don't even use.
Exactly.
So meanwhile,
so nefarious.
The U.S. conducted a new round of strikes against Iran, marking the 5th day. First of all, there never was really a ceasefire, so this is all BS. But this strike comes a day after Trump backtracked on this claim. We're going to take control of the strait and charge 20%. He's like, never mind. The next day, I mean, this is the most incomprehensible, incompetent mess I have ever seen internationally.
That he got bullied into.
Yeah, exactly.
No other president would do it.
Oh, you just brought up AI. Did you see this? Because there is no conspiracy theory that Donald Trump will not. He suggested that images of the Iran school bombing that killed more than 100 children may have been generated by AI.
Yep.
His own administration has admitted guilt in this. His own people have said, yes, It was an accident. It was us.
Yeah. It's just it's just a preview of whatever nonsense we're going to hear tonight, right? Oh, speaking of conspiratorial nonsense, Trump has just endorsed the QAnon Pillow Man, Mike Lindell, for Minnesota governor. Mike Lindell, Pillow Man. He actually calls him Pillow Man, like he thinks he's a superhero. One of America's greatest, most hardworking patriots running to be governor of Minnesota, replacing one of the worst and most incompetent governors in the history of the USA. Mike Lindell is my complete and total endorsement. He will not let you down. Good luck, Mike. Yes, good luck getting your ass kicked by Amy Klobuchar.
And this morning, Trump called Amy Klobuchar corrupt and incompetent.
Okay, man. Isn't he also one that had to pay $11 billion for election lies and stuff? Yes.
Has he even paid it yet? I'm not sure he has.
Okay. Well, he's supposed to.
Yes,
That's my point.
exactly.
Okay. Okay. So House Republicans have released the text of their $95 billion third reconciliation bill yesterday morning, aimed to pass it next week. The bill provides $10 million to giving grants to implement the SAVE Act. Oh my God, they will just not let this ridiculous thing go that is not going to pass the Senate.
No, they won't. I mean, even Mitch McConnell, if he's still alive, I think was against the SAVE Act. I have no idea.
When he was alive.
What did someone say? You know what's really easy to prove if you're alive? That you're not dead. It's not really that hard, is it? Is it? I mean,
like a video, please.
Yeah.
String together a sentence. That's all you got to do.
Okay, did you watch any of the, and no one did fulfill my dream and say, but you are, Blanche, you are, to Todd Blanche. But he's pathetic, right? I mean, outgoing GOP Senator John Cornyn said he remains uncommitted. What do you have to lose now, right? Like, he and Tillis are leaving. They should have 0 Fs. They know this guy is, the president's personal attorney. He blurted it out yesterday, right?
Yeah. I'm his attorney. I mean, I was his attorney.
Yeah.
If anyone believes that this guy is not biased toward Trump and he isn't going to protect Trump over the Constitution, they're idiots, or they just don't care. And I think it's more the line of they just don't care. This guy has proven himself time and time again to be completely incompetent and to just be a shill for the president.
And they're all worse than the last one. I mean, he essentially did what Pam Bondi did. There's the picture, right, of all the Epstein victims holding their hands up behind her. She wouldn't even look at them, of them saying, no one's met with us. Dick Durbin tried to get him to say, will you at least meet with the victims? And, he's the same thing, just tap dancing, legalese, blah, blah, blah. What did he used a double negative, which I know is grammar police. I never said I would not meet with the Epstein victims. What?
That's lawyerese.
Right,
yeah.
Right. I mean, just that alone, it's not just the Epstein cover-up, and then the cop beater slush fund, right?
Yeah, that whole thing. I mean, the semantics around it, and then you got Grassley saying that he said we're working on language, you had the language to draft the thing. Why are you having such a hard time finding the language to say that this, like in writing, that this thing is no longer and never will come into
right? Well, this is another one
reality.
that John Cornyn said. They say the right stuff, and then he'll probably vote for him, right? He said there's so much that's unusual about this. He said, has there been a written agreement of the party to modify the settlement fund? And Blanche said, no, the settlement fund is just not moving forward. Well, no one, even on their side, will trust them when they just say, oh, no, it's not in writing. We don't need it in writing. Cornyn press seeking written assurance Trump will not move forward with the fund. You can't trust anything Trump says.
No, and Blanche has already said, I'm not supposed to question the president. He's allowed to do what he wants to do.
And can I hear this Angus King thing again? Who's this guy now? The other, Jade Clayton, his nominee to become the top intelligence chief.
What a moron, what a schmuck.
Well, let's do John Ossoff first of all with that,
Who won the 2020 election?
I'm not going to do this with you.
This is a job interview. We've established that you have an obligation to be honest and forthright with the committee. Yes, you do have an obligation to be honest and forthright with the committee?
Yes.
Who won the 2020 election?
Like I said, I'm not going to get into that with you.
But you do have an obligation to be honest and forthright with the committee.
Is anything that I just said not honest or forthright?
Yes, you're not being honest or forthright. Who won the 2020 election?
I think I've answered the question. We can keep doing this.
Well, we're going to keep doing it because you're not being honest and forthright.
I'm not going to engage in the theater.
Oh my God!
Wow.
And then Angus King tried. He said, "I'm just asking he tried several times. I'm just asking a really simple question: Who won the 2020 election?" They've all figured out, haven't they, Dana? These weasel words to use.
Yeah.
He said, "As I said to you, we went through our processes, and Joe Biden became the president of the United States." As if by magic, like, oh well,
Yeah,
yes,
just
he
poof.
became president or whatever.
My favorite was, I think it was White House, was like, and who got more, why did Joe Biden, why did you certify that? Well, he got the most electoral votes. So isn't it true that whoever gets the most electoral votes wins the presidency? We said he got the most electoral votes. So can you say he won? It was just,
yeah.
And honestly, there was apparently some bipartisan support for Jay Clayton, but I'm pretty sure he lost all Democratic support after that clown show.
Yeah,
I think it was Chris Coons that actually supported him until yesterday.
I know. Well, it's because it's this public humiliation ritual they're all forced to go through. They've got to repeat every ridiculous thing that he says. I mean, please let him talk about the reflecting pool again tonight. I don't. Okay, because I don't know if you saw the latest thing. So everything to do with this America's 250, because remember that was supposed to be refurbished for July 4th, the America's 250th birthday, and it is a complete, of course, debacle like everything else he does. But so in the latest in a string of troubles involving upgrades around the National Mall, unveiled as part of America's 250th birthday celebrations. So did you see they were these documents, our original documents, right? The Emancipation Proclamation, 13th Amendment, signed by, Abraham Lincoln. New reporting reveals the Trump administration moved original copies of the Emancipation Proclamation and the 13th Amendment into defective storage cases, exposing the rare documents to harsh light and heat. Is there anything they have not destroyed? I mean,
no.
Right? 3 National Park Service employees described the facility with faulty security measures. They said they've struggled to maintain proper conditions for the rare and delicate documents. Screens designed to shield the records from harsh light have been defective. Temperatures inside the display cases have reached more than 80 degrees. I mean, literally the gang that can't shoot straight, whether it's Iran to...
I'm hoping that they're falling apart enough that even if they're trying to steal this election, that it's just such a clown show that they step on their own, before they hit the finish line.
Yeah, no, exactly. Well, we've been talking all morning because it's like the through line to everything is conspiracy theories, right? From Trump going, it's AI, the girls' school bombed in Iran, and on and on. So I thought what's interesting, Dana, now it's coming from both sides, whether it's calling BS on this Mitch McConnell thing, but the widow of the man that was killed in the Trump, quote unquote, assassination attempt believes the government was behind it. The widow of Corey Compiatori, the former fire chief who was killed in the 2024 assassination attempt against Trump in Butler, Pennsylvania, believes the government was behind the shooting. She said, I believe it was an inside job inside the government somewhere. She was asked, and this was a political plot. She said, yeah, absolutely. She said Secret Service, they did not reach out to her until a year after it happened.
Wow.
She said, I don't believe there was another shooter there, but I believe he was working with someone. I mean, she joins the left in calling BS on this because we never seem to get adequate explanations for anything.
Trump hasn't stopped talking about Barack and Michelle Obama. They've been out of office for 10 years, but we never hear about the 3 people that tried to assassinate him?
Right.
Come on.
Right. Yeah, that's where, but Again, Dana, I think it's dangerous in general for the country that nobody believes anything anymore. That the government,
it's intentional. That is Putin's dream. It is Putin's dream. He loves this.
Yeah. Yep. 47 minutes after the hour, this portion of the show. Talking to rock stars is not easy. Good morning, Brian.
Good morning. How you doing?
I'm good. I see you all over the place, and I have to tell you, I know that I'm yelling at the TV. I'm like, yeah, Brian, go.
Well, I appreciate it. Yeah, I'm doing the thing. I'm trying to get out there.
Yeah.
Yes, you are.
It's this timeline we're in, right? What we're all asked to go on CNN or wherever and talk about is just extraordinary, right? Like that no one believes this photo of Mitch McConnell. That, Lindsey Graham, who knows, right? Like, Trump's being asked about Russian conspiracy theories and whatever. So how do you mentally survive that? Let's start with that.
Oh, Lexapro. I mean, I wish I was kidding.
I know someone on that. I'm like, okay.
Yeah. No, I know. It's psychologists do. They tell you, like, tune it out, but people like you and I can't. We all
No,
can't.
you can't.
Yeah.
And frankly, like, that's the difficult part, is I feel like so much of this despair is not just, it doesn't just happen organically, it's engineered. Like, it is intended to make us feel helpless. And so the job for us, and the job for people watching and listening and who are invested in politics and who are invested in the future of this country and the preservation of democracy, has to be that you just tune it out, you keep going, and you keep your eye on the prize, which is making sure that you can, that we can deliver a country that doesn't look like this, that we can get past this, that there is a light at the end of the tunnel. But that's the hard part, is because we're surrounded by this stuff by design. I think they want us to feel like we are just immersed in this toxic hellscape.
Yeah,
and, and push people away.
And the Mitch McConnell, I think it's because they lie about everything. They've drained the reflecting pond, and there clearly is no gash.
Yeah.
And he's telling you there is.
The irony for somebody like Mitch McConnell is, as he has spent his life propping up this increasingly extreme Republican Party, is they have refused to push back on all of the gaslighting, all of the lies, all of the disinformation. They've reveled in it. It's helped them. And now when it turns on one of them, as it inevitably does, now he's left on the receiving end of this thing. But like, he has benefited from a movement that has just swam in misinformation and disinformation.
Sure.
And it's redounded to his own benefit. Now everybody thinks, his proof of life photo is a fake.
Yeah.
So eventually it comes back to bite him in the ass.
Right. This is the house you've built. And so Thursday is what everyone is talking about now. And what, horse blank we're going to hear Thursday about the 2020 election, or Warnock or Ossoff or God knows what crazy grandpa's going to say on Thursday. What is your take? I mean, everybody in this room is like, he's going to declare, I don't know, national emergency, something.
Yeah. So my concern, my thought, my prediction, my concern is, and if it doesn't happen Thursday, I still don't think that precludes Trump from doing it anyway, is that he's going to cook up some scheme. I mean, we have seen, obviously the Trump administration is pretty deeply enmeshed with Venezuela and this regime. They have Nicolas Maduro here. We've seen the director of national intelligence go to Georgia. So what I think is going to happen is that they're going to have some foreign official or some foreign country or even just the ODNI come out and say that there was foreign interference in the election in 2020, and as a result, because there's foreign interference, we couldn't possibly allow that to happen again, and so we have to take extreme measures to contend with these extenuating circumstances. And Trump is going to try to pass some voter suppression bill, some ban of mail-in ballots, some edict that ICE gets sent to the polls. I don't know what he's going to try to do specifically, but he's going to use that as a thin pretext to be able to justify whatever actions, frankly, he was going to do anyway.
Well, Brian, the good news is I read your post earlier about, a federal judge just found shut down Trump's effort to ban the IRS from auditing him, his family, his whatever, blah, 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 and disciplining his lawyers. They're 0 and 13, the DOJ, on trying to get sensitive voter data from states. So, I guess that's all we can keep doing is, swatting down the next thing that they're going to think of to try to suppress the vote, right?
Totally. I mean, the reality is the courts have largely held up, and thank God for people like Norm Eisen and Mark Elias who are out there fighting these fights on the front lines. I mean, you mentioned that the DOJ is 0 and 13 now.
Stephanie Miller.
Yow. Okay.
Yow.
What's my one musical rule?
Any song is good that has the word yow in it.
That's true.
Yow.
Okay. All right. Get ready to clutch your pearls, Dana. Kristi Noem is going to divorce her cross-dressing husband. What?
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I'm glad he's finding his truth.
Noem's own mother said the last she saw of the two of them together was at a particularly awkward family birthday in late spring, just weeks after the news broke.
I mean...
Byron, is it Byron?
Brian.
Brian.
But it
yes.
looks like Byron, but it's
yes,
pretty,
Brian.
Uh-huh.
He'd been actively, in case you've forgotten, participating online in the bimbofication scene. Don't make a joke about my former love life. Sending online fetish models compromising pictures of himself with balloon stuff under women's clothing, imitating huge breastises.
And you remember who turned him in? An undocumented sex worker,
That's
which
right.
was just glorious. I don't buy that she didn't know. I don't know if you remember in
please.
one of the hearings where Brian was sitting behind her while she was getting questioned about her relationship with what's-his-butt, and Brian's face didn't even move. I think they both knew what each other was doing, and fine, you want to file for divorce, file for divorce,
Well,
but don't act like this was Brian's, all his fault.
Yeah, they were saying that was like the worst kept secret in D.C. that she was, you know.
Yeah.
Corey Lewandowski, allegedly.
Lewandowski, thank
They
you.
still are.
Allegedly. Oh, are they? Yeah. Delightful. Okay.
They
Dana,
deserve each other.
speaking of sexual gratification, could you play Hunter Biden for me again? Thank you. Okay, here we go.
I would tell him to go his self. That's what I would tell him. And please leave. This man has tried to torture me for 10 years. He says the that he says about my dad, his obsession with tormenting my dad, hanging a picture of an auto pen on the colonnade, demeaning him, and all the things that he said about him. What kind of man would I be if I didn't tell him to go himself?
So cleansing. Oh, it's like a sound bath. Okay.
God.
Can I just say, good for him, and I just love that he won. Hunter Biden scores $1.7 million in damages from former Overstock CEO in defamation case. I just, Dana, E. Jean Carroll this week, I'll take a little bit of justice wherever I can get it.
Absolutely. We still have to celebrate the good things.
Yeah, a federal judge out here in L.A. awarded $1.7 million punitive damage to Hunter Biden as part of a defamation case against Patrick Byrne, the former CEO of Overstock.com, that guy. He had claimed in 2023 that Biden pledged to get his father, Joe Biden, to unfreeze $8 billion in Iranian assets in exchange for an $800 million bribe. The clear implication of his post was that the plaintiff's originally criminal and corrupt actions had contributed to terrorist attacks by Hamas. Byrne had no basis to say that, as found by the court, Byrne had no basis to say that Hunter had any involvement with Iran whatsoever. He's one of these longtime, not just Trump supporters, but 2020 election denier, anti-vaxxer. He resigned remember this, as CEO after disclosing a romantic relationship with convicted Russian spy Marina Butina.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God, these people just all deserve each other, right?
They really do. Yeah, I do. You know what they say? You say, big bag of rats. I hope they just continue to eat each other alive.
Fight, fight, fight. All
Fight,
equally,
fight, fight.
all equally awful. Don't know who to root for.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, you really don't.
A group of environmental organizations sued the Trump administration in Seattle federal court after the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service announced the removal of the word harm from the Endangered Species Act regulations on habitat protection. We've been talking about them reducing the national monuments, like destroying whale habitats. I know it seems like lesser crimes or stuff than all of the other stuff, but it's really not. There's just...
No.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, it's the flooding. We knew this. This is all Project 2025. Every single thing you could have read about it, destroying the environment, taking away rights, civil rights, eroding all of the things in this country. There was a blueprint, and they're following the blueprint.
Yeah. Yep. You know how you fight back? DG Comedy.
That's
Go
right.
see her live. Anywhere you can see her. She is hilarious. Life-altering.
Follow me on the socials.
Yeah. Life-altering.
DG Comedy. DG Comedy on the Instagram. And go get tickets to the Southwest Funny Fest in Albuquerque, New Mexico, October 9th. I love you all.
I love you too, Dana Goldberg. We'll see you tomorrow.